2 in a row. That is 2 in a row. That's 2 wins in a row. And the Knicks look to take on the Golden State Warriors. That's 2 wins in a row. And the Knicks look to take on the Golden State Warriors. I didn't send the thing out, and I should have. I'm not for sure what happened. The birthday weekend probably had me a little out of it, so I'm slipping a little bit. But look, we here. Knicks Morning Drive. I like to talk about. Want to hear what you guys think. Want to talk about our guard rotation. Quiet Money was good. It was good, Quiet Money. Yeah, didn't send the broadcast thing out like I should have. I got here and realized I didn't. Just a lot of stuff going on. But I'm here. Want you to be here. Want to talk to you about some stuff. Yo, Al Jordan was good. Want to talk to you. I want to talk to y'all about some stuff. So, Parish Dogger was good. Was good. Chef NYK was good. I know. You know what the vibes are. Hey, we're going to be straight up. Straight up. Hey, listen, man. It's positive vibes. That's what we rocking. Positive vibes. Y'all hear my phone going off. That's Nick's Twitter going bananas. Per their usual. That's Nick's Twitter going bananas. There's this Nick's Twitter thread. Oh, wait a minute. MIG Meg was good. Lily Phillips is in the building. What's good? What's good? Hey, I'm sorry about not sending the broadcast time out earlier. I thought I did, but I didn't. And that's a failure on my part. I had been up all night. I could have been sent it out. I just thought it was done already. Will Salkin was good. What is good? Man, I just got a call from the doctor's office. Hold on, this might be important. Yo, that was spooky. Yeah. Yo, that was spooky. Y'all ever got a call for y'all doctor's office? And it was about nothing. Okay. All right. That was spooky. What's up, Knicks family? Spree the Nick, what's good? Paris Duggar, are you gonna let the rookie develop slowly so they can become great? starting with Rowan quickly. No, 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 man. No, Paris Duncan. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be right. No, nah, man. You can't, in my opinion, there's a balance, right? There's a balance that you have to, like a line you have to walk, Paris Duggan. Like there's legit a line that you have to walk. You can't look at the Frank Ntilikina development and think it's the development of everybody because it's not true. Because if you look at the KP development, that is not also true. Like for instance, you draft KP and you throw him in, he's a starter, right? Right away, dude becomes a all-star, superstar caliber player. The very next year, you draft a guy and you try to rush him in, and he becomes a bust, so to speak, right? And we blame that one on development too. Well, you have two lines of development. You draft KP and you throw him in right away, and he struggles defensively and won't rebound, but he does become a star, right? Right? But you can't give the credit to rushing him in. You have to give credit to developing him, being hands-on, right? Because the next year you put Frankie in there, you put Frankie Smokes in there, and it's the opposite effect. But you can't blame development on that, right? So the thing is, I guess what I'm getting at is I think you can start quickly right away, right? I think you can start him right away. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you start quickly, you have to understand that he's still being developed. You don't take your hands off of him and say he's ready. Right? You don't take your hands off and say he's ready. It's the same thing with RJ. RJ's not ready, but RJ has been in, and you've seen RJ struggle as a starter, right? But you say, well, RJ was drafted with the third pick. Yeah, right. I get it. And KP was taken with the fourth pick, and I understand that. But the draft order doesn't matter. It does not matter where you pick these guys. The only place that it matters is the paycheck. Because once you take a guy, he's on your roster. Where you take him doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because you're going to say, for instance, you're going to coach up and try to develop Mitchell Robinson at the same strength or more as you did Kevin Knox. So you drafted one and you drafted one in the first round and you drafted another in the second round. You don't develop Kevin Knox more because he's a first round pick than you do Mitchell Robinson because he's a second round pick. It's just not fair. You know what I mean? And you can't also say, well, Mitch doesn't deserve to start because he's a second round pick. It's not fair. What you want to do is if you start them, if you play them a lot of minutes, if you bench them, regardless where you have them at, your development staff still should be working on them like 100% because you invested in them as a person, and so your development staff, should be working 24/7 to make sure every asset or every player that you bring in is playing at their optimum skill and effort. Every player that you draft or bring in, you should be developing them and staying with even Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson is 57 years old. But when you bring him in the building, your development staff should be working on Taj. Like, Taj, we don't want these areas to slip. We want you to develop new stuff in your game, new wrinkles. We want you to maintain what you've maintained as a pro. And at the same time, we want you to develop certain other skills. Right? D Blocks, I see you. Hey, D Block. I ain't even gonna say, you know what? D Block, I'm gonna do, look, D Block, this is look. yo. Yeah. Guard up Knicks, what's good? Free Keith is in the building. What's good? What's good, Free Keith? What's happening? What's happening, man? Hey, you know what? You know what? People can say what they want to say about Uncle Freezy, but my energy level is never going to drop. This feeling that I have about the Knicks is always going to be super high. Yo, the pessimists are going to be like, yo, Uncle Freezy, why you on this roller coaster? You know, you be up and down with the Knicks. Nah, dog, I don't be up and down. I'm gonna stay up. That's what homies do. They stay up. That's why when homies depart, they be like, stay up, homie. That's what we do. That's what we do, man. We stay up. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody asked me, this was maybe 2 weeks ago. They were like, yo, how you gonna do Knicks Morning Drive, a Knicks Versus, and the Knicks at Night podcast all on the channel, and mostly every day. And you know what I told them then? Yo, it's easy when you doing stuff with people that you like. When you like people, listen, when you like the people that you're around, it's easy. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, look who in the building.
Yo, what up? Hold on. Give me a second to flex my camera. Hold on.
All right. Mig, so you see what Mig said? Yes, sir. Exactly. Hey, Stephen Fox, what's good? What's good, Stephen Fox? Quattro Cinco says you can't ever stay with chin down unless you have generational wealth. Gotta fight for all. He's got you got. Yeah. Yo, that's what we doing right here. The thing is when you like being around people, it's easy keeping that energy up. Guzman, it was good. So he said, salute Freezy. Knicks need becoming their calling card 90s Nick Grit. Yep. It's easy. Like it's easy for me to be here with y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for me to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing about my Knicks energy. It's easy for me to keep my energy up about these Knicks. Right? Okay. All right. I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to legit understand where I'm coming from. Right? So the thing is with me and these Knicks, regardless if we were 15-0 or 0-15, I love the Knicks. It's easy for me to do this. It's easy for me to come here and kick it with y'all. I like kicking it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I like talking Knicks with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get here and we don't even talk Knicks. Sometimes we get here and we don't even talk Knicks. But when you're in good company, you can have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jay Singh, what's good? Pedro Macho says, it's easy being Freezy. Yo, that's funny. That's funny, man. Yo, guard up Knicks word. Gotta love it. Win or lose. How can you be a fan if you dip when we lose? When we lose and certain people dip or talk bad about us. But when we win, they be like, yo, I told you so. Nah. And I ain't pointing to a specific person. But I point that to a specific to a crowd or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that is. You know, y'all know how that is. But when we win this chip, I'm telling you, when we win this chip, it's gonna be crazy. Hey, so when we win this chip, everybody is gonna be partying, and we're gonna be partying in Jay Singh backyard. Jay Singh is like, yo, wait, what? Yo, when the Knicks win this chip, We gonna party, and we gonna party like it's 1973. Yeah, we gonna party like it's crazy. Guard up Nick says, I know plenty Knicks fans that jump ship for the Nets. I keep receipts. Thank you. Thank you. I work with a dude that jumped ship, and it's blatant. It was like, yo, you seen the new Brooklyn uniforms? They fire, right? I'm like, no, I ain't seen no Brooklyn uniform. I don't care nothing about. I don't care if they play butt naked, except against us because no. Let me scratch that part back. Let me scratch that from the record. So I do care. The point I'm getting at is I don't care about Brooklyn. I don't. What would a Brooklyn Nets franchise have to offer Uncle Freezy? Kenny Anderson? That's what y'all got? Yo, we had Kenny. Chris Morris? That's what you gonna offer me? Yo, we had Chris Morris, man. That's what y'all going? Yeah, y'all had a little run with Kenya Martin and Vince Carter. That's what you gonna offer. That's what you gonna offer. I don't care nothing about the Brooklyn Nets. I don't care about the Brooklyn Nets. I don't care. Hey, what's up, Marge? What's good? What's good, Marge? What's happening? The New York Knicks are in the building. Yo, hey, so let me shout out to a couple people. I don't know if they're here or not. So shout out to I'm K-Ban. So I'm in the chat last night. I didn't get to shout him out. And let me shout out Chuck B. Chuck B, what's going on? Where you at? Chuck B, what's happening? It's crazy. Chuck B sent word like, yo, something going on. I can't get on something. And it's the same. Come, Chuck B, come on, man. We got to figure this thing out. Come on, Chuck B. It's crazy. You supposed to be the Blorange Tears debate champ. Roger Hoffa was good. I grew up with those 70s teams. Clyde, my favorite Knick. Hey, man. So we probably about the same age then because I grew up with those 70s Knicks. And I'm here to tell you, Clyde is probably, in terms of favorite Knicks, probably top 2. Y'all know I love John Starks, right? And it's not because of his stats and statistics and accomplishments and all that. I love John Starks. John Starks is my favorite Knick because of his backstory, like where he came from, right? Like what Knicks player in Knicks history did more with less? What Knicks player in the history of the franchise did more with less? You know what I'm saying? You talk about a dude that was in the CBA, cut by 2 NBA teams, was bagging groceries at a grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Was almost cut by the Knicks, except he got hurt. It's the only reason why he made the opening day roster is because he got hurt trying to dunk on Pat Ewing in practice. Right? It's the only reason. The only reason John Starks is a Knick. The only reason why we're talking about John Starks right now is because the Knicks couldn't cut him because he got injured in camp. And it was a legit injury. The only reason why John Starks is a Knick right now, or a Knicks legend right now. Because he may have been cut. He may have been cut after that training camp, and you don't know if he'd ever come back. But what we do know is what he did with his limited opportunity. So he had a limited opportunity, and he took advantage of it. Dude was a training camp invite. Think about that. Dude went from training camp invite to a Knicks legend. Who did more with less? If you point them out and if you point them out and I hear the story, then I'll ride what you want it. But nobody has done more with less than John Starks. Marquise Walker's in the building. It was good. Was good. Yo, make sure y'all check out Marquise Walker. Man, come on. This dude is like the hardest working dude on YouTube. The dude is the hardest working dude on YouTube. Gotta give him his credit. GXW Classic. What's good? What's happening? Salute. So Marge Fitzmaurice says Allen Houston, my fave Nick, LOL. Hey, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. I think we all have a favorite Nick. Somebody that we have emotional ties to. Somebody that at a time we were looking for some type of inspiration. Whether it was overtly or subconsciously that we were looking for a favorite Nick. And that favorite Nick had stepped up and become our guy. What's good, brother?
What up, chat? What's goody? What's goody? What's morning? What's morning, brother? What's good morning? What's everything? What's everything? Everything is Knicks. Knicks is everything. What's good?
Knicks. I'm all Knicks everything, bro.
Yo,
I'm all Knicks everything.
Feeling good.
Yes.
This week feeling good.
Yeah, and it's not because we won 2 in a row either.
Yeah, dude. But, our energy is different. I'm just liking, I'm like they convincing me.
How you like that? How you like that fight in them?
Dude, that was an ugly game. It's an ugly game.
Yes.
It was an ugly game. But see, but understand we would have lost that game last year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We would have lost that game.
And 2 years ago, we'd have turned that game off in the third quarter.
Oh, most definitely. And we would have been well within our rights to be saving our time.
Right.
Salute, Steven, was goody.
Right.
But like, as ugly as that game was, guys gritted it out and found a way to win. And that's this the drive to win. And I love Tibbs. You talked. I don't know if you heard the post game, but when Tibbs was just I love to win.
Right.
Like everything is about winning.
Right. So that's what I'm saying about this moment. That's what I'm saying about this moment that people don't get. I guess and I'm just in this light right here, but I guess what people miss when I say this, I'm not saying this as a narrative, so we'll have something to talk about. Because there's plenty of stuff to talk about.
Plenty.
But here's my thing. The narrative, I guess it's a narrative. But the thing I keep saying over and over, every day we wake up, our main focus should be winning. Every day that the Knicks, every time somebody turn the lights on in the organization, the main focus for that day should be winning. Not seeing who we can get next year, not seeing who we can trade for, but we should be winning. We should be focused on winning every day.
That irritates me every year, yo. Cats, the season barely even start, and we talking about where we're gonna be in the draft at the end of the year. See what we got. Put the energy into the now. Let's see what we got. And finally, I feel like it's paying off. I feel like it's paying off. We really got I think we got competent leadership. Rolls on down. I think everybody is doing their job, and I'm moments away from applauding what they're doing.
Right. Right. And I'm with you. My only thing is right now in this moment, I hope that people understand that what they're seeing right now is progress. And every bit of progress is not gonna be a winning situation, but to strive for winning is what we need to do all the time. So to see these guys strive for winning in every situation, it tickles my fancy, right? It tickles my fancy, man, because there were times, man, look, there were times when I saw Noah Vonleh run the pick and roll with some dude named Mario Hazonia, and you would see shots go up and they would kick out to a guy named Emmanuel Mudiay or something, and you were like, what is this mess I'm watching? What is this mess? What is this mess? Why is this even on the floor? Dog, come on. Are you serious? Are you serious?
I didn't. What's good, Marquise? I didn't hate Mudiay though. Like, I know fans really, really, really hated Manny, but like, I didn't hate him. I think because he was better than Frank,
right,
it really turned a lot of people off on him. Like every guard that has come here and has been better than Frank, but I'm just glad that first of all, Funk Master Keith, Bodega was good. I'm just glad that the free agents we picked up this year and the vets on the team are actually doing work and winning games. So now, like, fans can't even complain about like, oh, play the kids, we're gonna lose anyway. Play the kids, we're gonna lose. Nah, we got a team we building.
Right.
We got it, and like Tibbs said, yo, it's about the wins.
Right.
We out here trying to stack these W's.
Right. Yo, and you know what? And that's a weird feeling. That's a weird feeling because it's unfamiliar.
It's unfamiliar. This is why I always give fans a pass, because like I understand, like it's like you don't want to believe. You've done it so many times, and it was fool's gold. It was pulled right from you. Like, I feel like we can be free to believe this time.
Right. So let me shout out real quick my mods, man. Let me shout out Bodega Wi-Fi and Simasing, and the New York Knicks, man. Hey, man, y'all been doing an excellent job. Hey, let me ask y'all this: what's going on with Chuck D? I'm not for sure what's going on with Chuck D. Chuck D has been sending messages that he can't get on or something happened. I'm completely unaware. I don't know if Chuck did something and we blocked him, or if Chuck did something in his settings to block himself. But Chuck B is blocked here and on Twitter. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. If y'all know, if y'all can hit me up with something, then that way we can fix it. Because if he did something here and we need to holler at him, then we just need to holler at him to make sure we always be straight. But Chuck B is our guy. But back to Knicks talk though. So this feeling of winning and guys playing hard and smart at the same time is unfamiliar to us. Because there have been games where we should have packed it in based on history. History tells us when the Knicks get down 18, we pack it in. Or the Knicks get down 15, we pack it in. And this year we were down 18 and 15 and came back and won games.
Yo, like actually, that's what I was just about to say. Like, we actually are doing that though, and winning games. Like, and that's what's wild to see. Like, and against decent teams. Like, not like how. Although like that Boston game, they didn't come to play. I don't know what was wrong with Boston in that game, but
yeah.
But even still, we're not supposed to mash out a team like that by 30.
It don't it feel good?
I mean, of course,
that that you. And so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and this is one of the reasons why I put a log on the fire for the Optimists, because not only did we stomp out Boston by 30 in the Boston Garden to end their 5-game winning streak, dog. We also mashed out the Milwaukee Bucks,
who at the top of the division right now. But
right.
They only lost 4 games. One of them was us.
Right.
By a dub. They lost by a dub. It wasn't no tight game. Dub.
Right. Out the gate. Like midway through the third quarter, we was like, "Yo, where's this Milwaukee Bucks comeback coming from?"
Mitch be surprising me. Mitch surprises me every now and again, though. I know cats don't really like they waiting for Mitch to shoot or whatever, but like, I don't know if cats is really like peeping his defensive growth, yo.
Right.
My man Mitch got big on Giannis. He got big on Giannis, yo.
Yes.
He duffed him a couple times.
Yes.
He duffed him a couple times.
Hey, and like I used to tell little kids, so I used to work at the school district, right? And sometimes when the students would get mad at me, they'd have like the boys would have like this air in their chest. Like they get like their chest would get swole up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and I'd be like, "Hey, little boy, take the air out your chest. Take the air out your chest, little boy." Take that. But Mitch had air in his chest against Giannis. And it's funny. It's funny. Oh, okay. So I'm tall, right? So I'm tall, right? Just whatever. And I'm just saying this so y'all can visualize, so y'all have a image. So I'm tall, right? And if you can imagine an average sized 8th grader coming up to me like, "Uncle Freezy, I need a word with you." I'm like, hold on, little boy. Take that air out your chest. You don't know who you playing with, little boy. That's Mitch and Giannis. That's Mitch and Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Mitch straight step to Giannis. So I'm with you.
But size wise, like Giannis, Giannis is obviously like bigger than Mitch, but like, dude, like length and all that, like, yo, I think he blocked him twice. Like he was all over him. Like he wasn't letting him breathe, not in the paint.
Right.
All I need from Mitch, and I'm watching him do this more and more every game now, and fouling less and less, and I'm kind of digging the kid.
Right. Hey, and so the weird thing is the Miaches, and they real, they out there. Because I was like, "Yo, what's y'all name?" It's a group of Mitch fans out here. Do y'all have a group? Do you? And so they say, they was like, "We don't have a name, Uncle Freezy." And I was like, "Hey, can I call y'all the Mitches?" And they was like, "Nah, Mitches don't, nah." But what about Miaches? Okay, all right. Yeah. That's what they say. Now I don't care what they call themselves, right? But they like, "Yo, Uncle Freezy, Mitch is ready." Right now, look at him. He ready. And he like, and so I'm like, man, Mitch ain't ready. Mitch is the double-double that quite ain't the double-double. Mitch is either 9 points and 10 rebounds one night, or 10 points and 9 rebounds the next night. This is my joke with them, right? And so
he's pulling down more rebounds, but
yeah. But and so their point is, so what do you want? Do you want more Cole Aldridge? And I'm like, you know what? I see our point. We don't even have to go no further. We don't have to go no farther. Don't start this crazy thing about the dudes that played center for the Knicks before Mitchell Robinson got there. They were terrible, right? The only dude that was halfway decent in the last, say, 5 years is probably DeAndre Jordan. Halfway decent.
No, you know what I'm saying? You know who I like, though?
You're going to say Robin Lopez.
I like Robin Lopez. I think he's a top flight center. Like,
yeah, but that's been past 5 years, right?
Even still, like, I think like he's a decent center still today.
Yeah. I see. I like the dog in him. I like the fact that he wasn't backing down from nobody, even his brother.
Nobody, like, yo, and he looked like a goofball, but like you not,
He did.
but you ain't gonna, like, you still ain't gonna. I'm not backing down to you.
Yeah, and you know what he used to do? He used to have this 10-footer that drive other centers crazy. Like if you legit gave him a ounce of room to get that 10-footer off, he was gonna nail it. He's good. You know what I'm saying? And so shouts out to Robin Lopez. But the thing about Mitch though, is Mitch does offer a sense of stability at the center position that we hadn't seen in a long time. And the fact that sometimes he's a little bit flashy with it is impressive. Like on the play he got hurt against the Boston Celtics. He got hurt blocking a 3-point shot. NBA centers don't do that. You know what I'm saying? NBA centers, I don't care who it is. I don't care if you talking about it ranges from Joel Embiid on the East Coast to DeAndre Ayton out west. NBA centers don't do that.
You explaining to me exactly why I was looking at people crazy who was coming into this season talking about like, oh, what? It sounded like Mitch got a problem. Trade Mitch. Man, we could replace Mitch. We could get another Mitch anywhere. Like, no, you cannot get a dude who can block a shot at the rim and then in the next play, 2 steps away, block that same rebound that got to the 3-point line and block it at the 3-point line.
Right.
You cannot replace that, dude. You can't.
And so you know what it is? And so this is what people don't understand about Mitch, right? And I waver on Mitch because I have a frustration with Mitch, and I'll get to it in a minute. But I want to highlight this point that you made first. What people don't realize is Mitchell Robinson is an athletic freak at a position where certain athletic freaks look super freaky. But when you look at Mitch makes those dudes that look super freaky look normal, right? Like, and I'll give you the case in point. John Collins misses a shot on their offense. It's a long rebound. The Knicks kick it out. Trae Young circles and gets back. They throw the lob in the air to some guy. Guess who catches the lob? It's Mitchell Robinson. He legit outran John Collins and the rest of the Atlanta Hawks and caught a lob from Julius Randle. Dog, that does not happen in the NBA, right? Think about this now. John Collins, Mitch contested a shot on the other end, right? He misses. Julius Randle gets the rebound, right? Gets in the middle of the floor. He throws the lob up. Trae Young contests the lob. It's Mitchell Robinson catching the lob.
It's like Mitch blocks the shot. Mitch contests the shot and is the first man back.
Dog, that don't happen Okay. So Knicks fans are going to take that for granted because they see it too often.
Like it's not. That's why I'm like, it's not special to nobody what he's doing. So like, if he's not shooting this season, like then screw Mitch. Like, you bugging out. Being what Mitch is right now is enough Mitch for me.
Right. And see, I can dig that almost. My only deal with Mitch is this. Mitch, you have to. It's criminal to yourself.
You gonna say
that you don't look at the rim when you have the basketball on offense. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is this. I'm not telling you to do your sham guide. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is RJ Barrett passes from the wing. RJ Barrett passes you that ball, and you're at the top of the key. Mitchell Robinson does not even look at the rim. When you watch the games, Mitchell Robinson will not even look at the rim. So his defender never even honors Mitch on offense. He sees Mitch looking to pass that ball. So now when the pass goes back to RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson's man and RJ Barrett's man are contesting RJ at the basket.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If Mitch so much as pump fakes, Mitch's man comes to Mitch and RJ goes to the basket and it's RJ versus RJ's man. Right? But since Mitch is not an offensive threat, Mitch's man is going to sag off about 12 feet and smother all of our drivers to the basket. I saw Elfrid Payton miss a shot point blank, right? Point blank. Nobody should miss a shot point blank in the NBA. Not a professional, but you can't. But you could give him Elfrid Payton a pass because Mitch's man is playing defensive on him, and Mitch is on his way crashing to the rim. And so Rob the Knicks said, but Mitch gets offensive rebounds and putback jams. That should be enough. That should be a part of the play. No, dog. Because if Mitch's man is not there, there may not be a need for a putback jam. At some point, I'm not asking Mitch to shoot threes. I'm not asking him to shoot threes. Because I feel like as humans, we are who we are as individuals. We may learn new skills, new things, or we might find something we like and do that. But at the end of the day, Mitchell Robinson is a defensive athletic center, right?
Yeah,
He's a
no disagreement with nothing you're saying.
Right. So I'm not gonna it's like asking Mutombo to shoot threes. You're not gonna ask Mutombo to shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna ask Mutombo to shoot threes. You're gonna ask Mutombo to block shots and wave his finger, right? So with Mitch, we're gonna ask Mitch to do the stuff that he can do easily, right? Right? But the only thing I ask Mitch to do is, dog, when you catch the pass, can you at least pretend like you're gonna do something offensively? And I'm not saying getting your triple threat. I'm not saying pump fake at the basket. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying put the ball on the floor. I'm saying when you catch it, look at the rim. Because if you look at the rim, your defender can't just keep on running towards RJ Barrett. You know what I mean? Like if I know Free Keith likes to crash the basket, and I have the pass, when I catch it, I'm gonna at least do something. I'm gonna at least look at the rim. That way, Free Keith can eat.
I agree. Yeah, but like again, to me that'll all come with his basketball maturity. Like that's not a measure of skill,
right?
So much as that, like time will take care of that. His like court vision a little bit and like how he handles that kind of situation. I'd love to see Mitch with a little 15-footer. That would be like, yo, he did that. Like if Mitch happened to get a jump shot, he'd be a top 10 player in the NBA.
Top 10 in his position or top 10 overall?
Top 10 overall.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mitch with a jumper. That's increasing his score total. Like he's definitely his points per game is going up if he got a jumper.
Right.
Who's blocking it? Who's blocking that? Number one.
Right. I feel you.
But you know what I'm saying? So like you talking about if he's doing some wild crazy, like Mitch with a jumper is easily 15 points a game. Easily 15 points a game.
Because he's 10 right now. Without anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like Mitch with a jumper is easily 15 points a game.
And so my thing with Mitch is my frustration is not with who he is as a overall player. My thing is my frustration with him is just that one thing. Right. And there are other players I have a level of frustration with that I'm not hating on them. I just have one thing that frustrates me. Like for instance, RJ Barrett going to the basket frustrates me some, and that I love the kid going to the basket. I love RJ Barrett going to the basket, right? What I don't love with RJ Barrett going to the basket is somebody wide open and RJ Barrett not passing the ball to him.
Doing the same thing that y'all hated Randle for last season.
Right. No doubt. And I'm not talking about going to the basket looking to pass. I'm saying going to the basket without his head being up. You know what I'm saying? So the right basketball play will be kicking out to Kevin Knox in the corner for three. You know what I'm saying? If that's the right basketball play, do it. That's what I'm getting at. What's up, Coach Zach?
Oh, not much. Just woke up. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good.
Got a little nap in after work. Hour or so here. I'm going to go work on my car.
Yeah.
And at both ends, too, Freezy.
Yeah, man. The grind is real, brother.
Yeah. How you doing, Free Keith?
Ain't sure living life. Living this Knicks life.
Yeah. It's a hard Knick life.
It's a hard Knick life.
Yep. So I'm gonna tell y'all something, and this thing made me laugh. So I was at work, with the fellas, the fellas standing around. They like, man, Uncle Freezy, you still talking that Knicks BS? You know what I'm saying? They laugh and they joking. Like it's a bunch of dudes that jumped off the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying?
A bunch of Max Kellermans.
Yeah, a bunch of Maxes. Right? That's what I'm gonna call them when I get to work too. A bunch of Maxes. Yeah. Oh, that might be it. So they all jumped off the bandwagon at different times, right? Like some jumped off last year, some jumped off this year when the Knicks got Harden. So they all jumped off at different times, right? And I'm like, yo, y'all ain't ashamed of yourself? Yeah, how do you be fair weather like that? Like you're Yankees fans, you're Giants fans, and you're Brooklyn Nets fans?
Oh no, stop it.
That don't make sense to me.
I've been a Yankee fan my whole young life, man. I ain't hop off no bandwagon or hop on no bandwagon.
Bro.
We won one title since 2009. One. And I sat there and I watched every choking moment in the playoffs since. Every one. I've watched Gary Sanchez be Gary Sanchez for the past few years. I haven't given up. I've watched them sign guys like Giancarlo Stanton, and I haven't given up.
Right.
Come on now.
I'll tell you this. I'll speak to these dudes, and they say stuff to me like, Uncle Freezy, my favorite Knick of all time is Charles Oakley. And as soon as I hear that, I'm like, that's why you're a Brooklyn Nets fan right now. That's why. Because it wasn't even about the Knicks. It was more for you about the spectacle of Knicks fandom. Because diehard Knicks fans say stuff like Pat Ewing gave it his all. When you hear something like that, when you hear stuff like that 99 team stirred my heart. When you hear stuff like that, you're talking to a Knicks fan.
That's how I started becoming a Knicks fan. That's when I was old enough to watch. Was that run in '99?
Right. And so I tell this story once in a while. So Miss Mocha was pregnant with twins, right, at the same time of the '99 series, right? So we're in the hospital or whatever, and this Indiana game is nip and tuck the whole way, right? And so every time the Pacers hit a shot, I'm cussing like God, just crazy in this beautiful.
She's slapping the crap out of you while she's giving birth.
No, but listen, but check me out. So we're we're at the hospital, but it's this beautiful medical suite, right? This beautiful medical suite, man. And it's got all these decorations up, and these rooms are so beautiful. Like they have the room for giving birth, and then a side room for family members to assemble and to bring gifts and all that stuff. And every suite is like that, right? And so I'm in this moment where this should be one of the best moments of my life, right? This should be one of the best moments of my life. And I'm there with other dads. They're pacing the hall. They don't care nothing about the Pacers and the Knicks. They don't care about that. They don't even care about the TV, right? I'm like, hey, dog, you got TV in your room? You're like, no, I hey, Uncle Freezy, I hadn't even noticed. My wife is 9 months pregnant, man. I was just there with her. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a little occupied right now.
Yeah. Like, and they're looking at me like, and why are you looking for a TV and your wife is pregnant with twins? Right. You know what I'm saying? So the Pacers take this weird. They go on this weird thing, and it looks like the Knicks are gonna lose. And my wife Miss Mocha is looking at me like, are you okay? Which is weird because I should be asking her if she's okay, right? You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks get some kind of foul going on, and I saw cussing. I ran like walking the hall, and the nurse says, "Hey, Uncle Freezy, look, we've been putting up with this for about 2 hours. We've been telling you to be quiet, and you keep erupting, making all these noise, disrupting all these families and their moment. There, some of these people are about to have a baby for the first time." And I'm like, okay, I got you. I promise you. Because at first I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't give a S about these people, man. The Knicks playing the Pacers in the playoffs and blah, blah, blah. And then it dawned on me like, man, you know, you got to keep things in perspective. So no lie, like 2 minutes later, I swear, she left our suite and walked down the hall. And Larry Johnson hits a three and gets the foul. And I start jumping up and down, screaming, yes! Yes! Screaming up and down. And so the guy's like, so the babies are healthy? The babies are healthy? Did you have 2 boys? And I'm like, no, fool, Larry Johnson just hit the 3. And the nurse is like, coming down the hall, and I see it coming, and I'm like, oh, I promise you. And she comes to tell me, she comes to tell me, she's like, yo, Miss Mocha was having a false alarm. We're gonna write y'all papers and send y'all home. So Miss Mocha wasn't having the babies on that day. It was a false alarm, right? But I totally disrupted everybody else's day that day. You know what I'm saying? With the Knicks and the Pacers, one of the biggest wins in my lifetime as a New York Knicks fan. And so a couple of weeks later, the twins were born, and it's not 2 boys, it's a boy and a girl. The boy comes first, and the girl comes second. Both are healthy, and both are still in my wallet right now. both still have an emotional attachment to my wallet right now.
So yeah, they got you. Anytime they ask for money, you say no. They'll say, "Oh, Daddy Freezy, you remember that time when we were almost coming to this planet, right, and you cared more about the Knicks than you cared about us?
Well, you scared us that day. They probably be like, shoot, you scared us that day, Pops. That's why we didn't show up." but yeah, man. So the reason why I have to tell y'all like these stories and stuff, to share this stuff with y'all, is to let y'all know that my Knicks fandom is real. This is not some front for me to get on here and talk y'all to death, right? So in real life, I'm not really a chatterbox, but when it comes to these Knicks, man, I like talking about these Knicks, and I like talking about these Knicks with people that like talking about these Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So my Knicks fandom is real. So when I get around dudes that be like, man, the Knicks traded for James Harden, I think I'm gonna like the Nets now. Nah, bro, I can't understand. I legit can't, in my mind, I can't process why somebody would do that. I just can't see it. I can't see it. And for the record, those uniforms, that red, white, and blue that they wear is ugly.
Everything, man. He's just going after everything.
Yeah, James Harden, do you see how ironic it is that how convenient it is that he lost about 35 pounds when he got traded?
Yeah. Yo, what the hell? I don't even understand.
He wearing that fat suit to get traded.
Was he wearing a fat suit? Like, I don't
know.
How did he turn into this guy?
He was filming for Nutty Professor 3.
Yeah.
That was mad funny to me. Like, I thought it was Photoshop. Like, how do you even do that as a human being?
And so, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I just don't. I just don't like Brooklyn. Right? I just don't like Brooklyn, man. Not the country of Brooklyn. Not the empire of Brooklyn.
I'm so Brooklyn. I cannot refer to Nets as the Brooklyn team.
Right.
Like they're just the Nets, man. Like that's it. Like they not Brooklyn. I'm not giving them that at all.
I'm not even from New York, and I can't stand the Brooklyn Nets
at all. And listen, and dog, I'm from New Jersey. I'm from Jersey City.
So
I'm from
where
Jersey
the Nets
City.
are from.
Yeah. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm from man. Listen, where I lived at was like 20 minutes from the Garden. I mean, if in theory, if there was no traffic. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In theory,
really, it would be 6 hours. But...
Yes, basically.
I'll tell you what. My first Knicks game, right? It was my first Knicks game. I finally saved up the money. My 21st birthday was Kobe Bryant's last game at the Garden.
Oh
wow!
And my cousin and I went, and we had enough money for good tickets, but we didn't have enough money to we had enough money, but our budget was a certain way, so we had to drive up.
Right.
Couldn't go to the Harrisburg train station to get a train in. So I'm driving, and my dad was like, my dad has a thing where he buys like $300 to $500 little beaters, puts a motor in them, and then just beats the crap out of them until they can't no more.
Dog, I do that. Hey, I do that, Zach. I do that. Listen, I swear to God, I do that. Right now, I have a 86 Chevette. I have I have a Chevette. Yeah, because I bought it for $125. So, and I'm gonna put a motor in it. And I have a PT Cruiser, like the old PT Cruisers, right? Mm-hmm. And a little Honda Accord. So I buy them real cheap, and people laugh. They like, "Yo, why you be buying cars for $200?" All right, to put motors in them and drive them to death.
So you know what I'm saying? This is my dad's little '95 Integra that he bought for $300 and put a $150 motor in.
Right.
So I said, Dad, I ain't driving my Mustang, and I ain't driving my daily driver up there because I've seen it. Like I've been to Yankee games, I know. So I'm like, I ain't driving that up there.
Right.
So we had where did we stay? It was right near Times Square.
Okay. So y'all had bread. So y'all had bread then.
I forget the hotel, but we stayed. Yeah, we stayed for a while for this. But so we drive my dad's little Integra up, and I can. Oh, we got rear-ended so many times, just bumped into.
Right.
When we got home, the bumper. When we driving on the way home, the bumper cover was just flapping in the air. Both taillights were cracked.
Right.
Oh my goodness, driving in that was a nightmare. And here I am just screaming at other drivers. I'm getting in, and I didn't realize how quick-witted New Yorkers were when you got into a car accident. I learned real quick.
Yo, and so for the people in the chat that so I buy beaters. I don't really drive them. I like to buy them and hook them up. I drive something different. You know what I'm saying? But I do like the fact I just can't pass up a deal. I can't pass up a deal, man. Just fix them up, take my time and fix them up, and then I need some cash or something, I'll sell it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, you know. But the thing is though, with the Nets though, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. If they were in another city, I could almost give them credit.
Nope.
For what they do, right? Because I remember. See, I'm old enough to remember when the Nets played in Nassau Coliseum, right, out on Long Island. That's where they're from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember that. I don't remember all the players and all that stuff, but I remember flyers and all of that stuff. Oh, here come trouble.
Here come the rocker. Did you watch the morning show yesterday, Cornerstone?
Did I watch the what now?
Yeah, morning show yesterday.
No, I didn't watch the morning show.
You gotta go watch it again, bro. 3D and I were on one. It's when I tell you it's hilarious.
I believe it, man.
I rewatched it yesterday, last night, just for a laugh. Oh.
Yo.
And I was on the show the whole time.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that would have been a sight to see.
Same thing, Free Keith. You got to go watch that, man.
I'm about to go check it after this one.
Yeah. Hey, so Kev,
how's the panel feeling? How's everybody?
I'm feeling good, man.
All good.
I'm feeling great.
How was let me divert for a little bit. So how is the nation of Knicks fans feeling this morning after a win against two playoff teams? Right? How did the Frankers feel this morning after the Knicks, won 2 games without them? How did the Knoxes feel about the situation with the Knicks winning 2 games without them? The Barreteers, I'm here to tell you, the Barreteers, the Barreteers feel great.
Well, the Frankers don't watch unless he plays.
So. Oh, I
was a Franker. So
that's
like,
why I said that.
They watch games. I wouldn't even do that. Like,
I'm just messing with Cornerstone. But no, seriously, like, what makes me happy? Like when the Knicks normally have an ugly game, they lose, right?
Yeah.
And you had the first Cleveland game was an ugly game, like 27 turnovers, and we won. Yeah. You got this game was an ugly game, and we still figured out a way to win. It's good that we're finding out ways to win, no matter how ugly it can be.
That's the beauty right there. Like we are learning how to win, and to win at all costs, and that is what they got to learn first. Like that's the first thing. Like you got.
And there's a big change in why.
And Free Keith and Zach, again, that goes to coaching.
Thank you.
I mean, of course. The Cats think it's a one-way street. Like,
say it again for the guys ready to give up on Thibodeau. Say it again.
The Cats think it's a one-way street. Like, it's coaching and receptive. Like, you need the teacher and the receptive student.
That's part of a good coach, though, is to get his players to buy in.
Yeah, but you just can't. You just can't get grown men to buy in. They have to want to buy into something. Meaning that I have to still have the want to or the ability to buy into something bigger than myself. You might not be the guy, but there's some players that come off like very me-centered, like. I'm talented and really to me Harden comes off like that.
Right.
Like he doesn't look like somebody like I don't need to buy into your system. I don't need to buy in. I am the system.
And the thing about it, Free Keith, I always thought that that Randle fit into that mold that you're saying, and slowly and surely he's just turning my doubt around from that.
Randle has never given me the impression of being a problem player and anything more than a team player. Right. He was kicking his back in last season, and I was saying this, like y'all mad at him for following the directions of his coach.
Not even just that, Free Keith. Like he needed that year. He needed that year to learn how to be a number one option. He was never a number one option.
He needed a better coach. This Randle is the Randle that Fizz want. This is the Randle that Fizz saw in his mind, but he couldn't coach him to get to.
Right. Exactly. Totally. And
I can't even give Tibbs a lot of props for this Randle either. Maybe the continuation and the fine tuning of what's going on, but understand this is 9 months pre-draft. We weren't in the bubble. We weren't.
Randle was in their own bubble.
Randle practicing and trainers and this, that, and the other, turning Randle into this. This wasn't really a lot of Tibbs.
Right.
Tibbs showed him in the bubble we had. Tibbs said the most conversations he had and the most dialogue he had was with Julius Randle. And they talked about his role. They talked about what he wanted. And they talked about things to work on in the offseason.
Right.
And he worked on it. But understand, this is what I'm saying. Cats don't appreciate this, though. There's no team ball involved. He wasn't playing any NBA basketball, and he improved to this point.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he improves every year if you look at it.
It
might not have been the biggest. It might have been the biggest improvement.
If you're over 22 years old, you can't develop.
Nah.
He's only 26, right? 26 years old.
He's a young vet. He's on a good. He's outplaying his contract. Cats want to trade the guy for second rounders.
Right.
Just to see what Obi can do. See if he might, see what he can turn into.
Obi's only damn near 3 years younger than him.
But you know what though? That's the LOL Knicks.
I understand why they took. I understand why they took Obi. Nobody, not even Randle's mom knew he was going to be this Randle right now.
Wow.
Hey, but
no way the Knicks organization knew Randle was going to be this guy. I think it was everybody's understanding. And
like a terrible game for him right now.
And what pisses? Go ahead.
He had 21 and 17, and people were saying it was a terrible game. Keep going.
Yeah. And what pisses me off is that Knicks fans, I swear, I think we have the most bipolar fans in the world. The most bipolar fans in the world. They want to trade this guy. They want to still trade this guy. I'm like,
that's because they're stuck in their ways and their ideas and their opinions on this player. And they think my thing is, and respect to this guy that was on another show. His name was Mark. Great guy. Love talking to him.
Is it who's Mark?
Yeah, who's Mark? Great guy. Very insightful. Knows exactly what he's talking about. Respect. But what really bothered me, what he said, which I didn't really get a chance to really combat it too much. And I sat there and I thought about it, was that he said that Randle's play isn't what he wants this team to play. Isn't conductive of this style to play. And I'm like, take him away from this team, and do you have a definitive style? He's our best player. You play the style that your best player is most successful with to win games.
Obi is not ready yet.
It might not be the prettiest on the eyes, but it's a little bit of old school basketball is what it
Obi is not ready yet. He is not ready yet.
And he is only people are acting like Randle's an old ass player. Like he just turned 26. Obi's about to be 23 in a month. Like he's only 3 years younger than Randle. Randle is turning into a star right in front of our eyes. I am not trading that at the prospect of maybe 3 years, somebody 3 years younger than him, maybe turning into that, which he probably won't.
You know what I would do? I tell you what I'll do, as a matter of fact, and this is going to piss a lot of Knicks fans off. Not only am I keeping Randle, but I'm extending him.
Yes. What you going to get?
Look,
crazy.
All right. So I'm asking the three of y'all. What's reasonable? What's a reasonable contract for him? If he keeps going the way he's going,
so if he keeps 23, 12, and 7.
Understand the caliber of player that he's in, the numbers that he's giving up right now, the work that he's doing, and he's in the caliber of cats making $30 million a year right now.
But I'm saying right now, the Fred Van Vliet contract, the Fred Van Vliet contract would be around what I would offer him at the very most. Because of his production 1 year.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that. I'm giving Randle money.
No, I'm saying that's $25 million a year.
Well, how much you giving him, Uncle Freeze? How much you giving him?
That's $25 million a year.
I'm giving him at least 25.
So the thing is with Randle is this, right? So what's Nikola Jokic making? What's he worth?
Oh,
he's max.
He's worth a max contract, right?
Right.
So
an all-star.
So I can't offer him that, but I can see a scenario where Julius makes 30, right? Or somewhere.
If he continues to put up this work, I'm talking about. Let's zero in on him continuing this work, which doesn't look like is any reason for it to fall.
But this is his baseline.
This is the reason I say $25 million, right?
This is his baseline.
Because
22, 12, and 7 is his baseline, right?
Go ahead.
The
reason I say only 25 at the most is because, one, I think that's the very most you're gonna have to pay him. I don't think other people are gonna offer him 30 plus. And two, it's because if you want to like somehow move him to maybe a 6-man role. Let's say OB all of a sudden shows, okay, I'm a superstar. You could move him to a 6-man role and have him still stay on the team for a long period of time if Obi shows he's better than him.
Okay, Steven.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's the best case scenario.
The team.
Tobias Harris is making $34 million.
He don't deserve
it. But they don't got a small forward lottery pick behind him.
He don't deserve it. He do not. He does not.
But that's really disrespecting the work that Randle is doing right now.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm saying I don't think Obi's ever going to outshine him. But what I'm saying is, worst case scenario that he does, you don't want to have someone making $30 million that you can't trade because teams know that you're stuck in a bad position.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but you can't spend scared.
Yo,
you can't spend scared. Yeah,
I'm also saying 25 because I don't think anybody's going to look at Julius Randle and say, all right, he's $30 million.
Yo, if he does this for the whole season, catch Thurston at right before the trade deadline. I'm trying to get him for the playoffs. I bet you money we're gonna get all kinds of trade offers thrown at him. Crazy.
Yeah, but they might not be the best. Nobody's giving like a top 5 lottery pick for him.
If
I love Julius.
Doing what he's doing,
what Freezy calls a Juliet.
He's going to be one of the top guys in the league if he keeps doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, okay, but what I'm saying is they're not like. What I'm saying is I don't think other teams might look at this and we forget a big thing. He's in a contract year. There's a team option. He's in a contract year. He's trying to get the bag.
Right. Okay.
So let's say, what if all of a sudden he gets paid $30 million a year and goes back and regresses? Because he got his money.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, people get contracts and then blow it.
Yeah, but I don't think that would happen underneath Tibbs. I don't think that.
This is what I'm saying. Like cats. On the one hand, cats talk about Tibbs like he's this great legendary coach, and then like what the actual stuff, the issues of the coaching issues, which is what you're talking about right now. The coaching issues, we don't trust that legendary coach.
I trust Thibodeau with everything.
You think that Randle? You think he's $30 million or not? He let Randle play like that? No.
Kev knows I trust everything. But first, like you just said earlier, it's twofold. A coach has got to be what he is, and players got to buy in. You can't tell me that there hasn't been a superstar before that has bought into a coach or a player before that was bought into a coach, played really well, got a contract, and that same great coach is there, and then they're just
It depends.
They got their money.
What that player is great for. This is what I'm saying. Like it's not like like Randle has like he's like 70% from 3 and this, that, and the other, like these unsustainable things. Like, he's passing more. Like, why would he revert? You know what I'm saying? It's making his whole entire game successful. He's passing more.
Why would he revert? Because his usage rate is so high that once he gets that bag, he might not want to.
So
I love Julius.
So Zach,
I love Julius.
That's your fear. That's your fear.
It's a fear of mine. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's just a fear.
You
got to think. You got to think of all aspects.
And we're human.
Pay somebody $30 million.
We're human.
I feel you, Zach, but I don't think that.
You can't not. You're doing yourself a disjustice if you're an organization and you don't think about all these aspects before you pay someone that bag.
I'm
just playing.
I'm not for that.
How's Van Vliet doing with his?
Then you end up like my Cowboys who pay a bunch of guys big money because of what they did, and then they suck.
Yeah. How's Van Vliet doing with when he got his big contract? How's he doing right now?
Van Vliet.
I'm on my phone right now, so I can't look up no numbers.
The Raptors suck.
It doesn't matter how he's looking. They're like 2-8 or 3-9 or whatever the case may be.
They have clear. But so the thing is so Randle is an all-star, right? And I don't think you got to pay my man because last year's numbers are skewed, right? We're like, yo, he's got to do this more than 1 year. Well, he was trying to do it last year, but look at the scenario where he would like get double teamed, and the option out of the double team is kick out to Elfrid Payton at the point, or kick out to RJ Barrett in the corner. Do I kick it out to them or do I take this shot? And so Julius Randle a lot of times is like, these dudes can't shoot. Let me take this shot.
Yeah, when Reggie Bullock came back, it was a blessing. Let's think of that.
Yeah. And so and you're right.
Process that once.
Yeah, and so last year Randle did a lot of stuff.
Uncle Freeze, hold on 1 second. And this is what I'm talking about with Knicks fans. This guy George Alberlino, wherever he is, he's calling Randle trash.
He's a troll. He's a troll. Let it go.
No, he's
a troll.
No, man. Talk about George Alvernia.
I love troll. I love Chuck.
Not Chuck.
He's a troll. I know, but I'm just trying to make it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say that. He just be trolling. Chuck trolls all the time, and I love him to death.
No, you know what I'm saying? But George Alvernia is not a troll. He just disagrees. And you know what I'm saying? And so when people,
but he's not trash though. You can't ever say he's trash.
So I'm gonna say I'll say this. So a lot of people were scorned by what they saw last year from Randle, but what I'm telling them is last year's Randle was not as bad as what people make it out to be.
The team was terrible.
You know what I'm saying? The team, dog. When so Randle started off the year slow, right? And his numbers were 18 and 8.
Ended up with pretty much 20 and 10.
So he finished. He started the season under Fizdale 18 and 8, right?
Which isn't bad, regardless.
Yeah. When Fizdale gets fired and Mike Miller comes in, the dude averages 23 and 11 under Mike Miller, right? And people still call him trash. And then so they let Mike Miller go. They don't let him go, but they just don't bring him back. Let him go wherever he wants, whatever.
These same people, the reason I call them trolls is because they'll sit there and say Julius Randle's trash, but then defend Kevin Knox and defend Frank Ntilikina. No disrespect, Cornerstone, but just guys that haven't shown that they can at least put up numbers in the league. They say, "Oh, they're not trash. They're good at this. They're good at that. They do this. They do that." But then call Julius Randle trash.
Right. The thing with Randle is,
I hate that.
The thing with Randle is we just have to respect what we have. So the Knicks fans aspire to get other teams' best players in exchange for our worst players and draft picks.
Right? Anthony Davis or Giannis for Frank and DSJ and a first rounder.
Yeah. And so, but what they don't realize is you may not get Anthony Davis, right? There are 28 other teams that wish they had Anthony Davis, right? Mm-hmm. But we have Julius Randle at 22, 12, and 7.
26, not even entering the prime of his prime yet.
Right. And this is now think about this. This dude is 22, 12, and 7, and we don't even have shooting. If we had dudes that knock down shots, Julius Randle, and I'm gonna say this, and y'all gonna swear up and down. Y'all gonna swear up and down that Uncle Freeze has lost it. No, but Julius Randle may average a triple double if we had dudes.
Will.
Right. He's doing it already. He's almost doing it already.
With dudes that can't shoot. Think about that. With dudes that can't shoot, the dude is averaging 7 assists.
He would have did it yesterday. If Knox would have knocked down a few of his shots. He would have did it yesterday.
Which Knox is our best shooter right now. So I mean, everybody has a bad game, but still.
So and I know people will say, well, if Randle had more shooters, maybe his scoring average will go down. No.
Okay, George.
Okay, Mike, so
now George is going again. George going again. He says, "I'm not trolling, Kev. You're more of a troll, upping Frank." When have I talked about Frank?
He's trolling you right now.
When have I talked about Frank? Anytime here.
Yeah. That's resume stuff. That's resume stuff. He knows you like Frank.
And if you weren't talking, and then he says that he wasn't talking about Randle. Okay, who are you talking about? Because when I see the thing down,
you said Randle is trash, right?
Yeah.
No, that reminds me of the Joe Montana thing. No, I said Joe Montana. he said Randle. He said Randle is trash.
Right. Man.
Bro, what's up?
There he is, the man with the plan.
What's good? What's up, House?
The man with the plan, partying on the mothership.
Man, what's going on, fellas? Man, what's going on? Been a minute.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for I'm trying to get on your show yesterday.
Yeah, I've been so Ron, we haven't with the pandemic, my girl and I and my son haven't really gone out and done anything, right? So when you go on, when I wake up and like we've been going out and doing stuff. So I apologize.
Hey, what I always tell you, man, you gotta be balanced. You know what I mean? Hey,
I didn't want you to think I was a
that was me. Hey, Ron, that was me yesterday because the missus was off yesterday for Martin Luther King's birthday. So
hey, you got to be balanced, man. Yeah. Got to be balanced. They don't need to apologize.
I barely got the game in. barely got it in.
What?
Hey, so, Ron, I want to ask you a question.
What's up, Keith?
Hey, so I have a question for you.
All right.
So you have a Knicks YouTube channel. You're a Knicks content creator, right?
Okay.
We know this. We know this. I have a YouTube channel, man. I'm a Knicks content creator. There are others around the nation that have name your NBA city YouTube channels, and they're random content creators. I think that these YouTubers are taking shots at Knicks content creators because we're so passionate, right? Like they'll come on their channel, say once a week or yeah, at least once a week, and talk about how bad certain teams are, mainly the Knicks, right?
Okay.
And I know why they do this, and you know why they do this. They do this because they get clicks.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
they get
It's easy money because most of the time the Knicks are.
Say it again.
Right. So these random Sacramento Kings content creators will get on for 2 hours. They'll be on for 2 hours, and for an hour and 40 minutes talk about how bad the Knicks are. You know what I'm saying? And so I know why that is, and they know why that is. So I'm in this weird place. So I'm asking my friend Ron, should I put out a diss track to them? Should I call them out by name and tell them worry about the Kings and stop worrying about the Knicks?
Yes. Now bring them on the show.
Or should I be classy? Or should I be classy and say I admire the high production that you put into your show and that your intro was dope and all this stuff?
That's a high.
Bring on the show.
Yeah.
Let me do your
I'll
handle your light work, Freezy.
That's a real
your light work. I
can't speak for nobody else, but I know for me, man, my main thing, what I said when I did this, man, I'm not trying to, compete with nobody else or, you know what I mean? This is about the Knicks, ain't about nobody else.
Right.
And, if you want to take shots, feel free. But there's an old saying, he who laughs last
laughs best.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And the fact that they're talking about us, that tell us that we're doing something right. You know what I mean? Right now, all I know is the New York Knicks is in the 6th place right now in the Eastern Conference. Sacramento, I don't know where they're at. And matter of fact, I don't know any Sacramento fans.
Right.
No,
I don't know. I know they ain't global.
Right.
I didn't hear that, Ron. Say that again, Ron. Say that again.
I don't know anybody who period like Sacramento. That's just, and they ain't even cutting no jokes. I'm just being straight, blunt, forward. In my existence, I have never ran into somebody that say they're a Sacramento fan.
Right, I'm telling you that these channels are out here. These Charlotte Hornets channels that get about 30 people in the chat, and and what they do is they talk Knicks, and 25 of the people in their chat are Knicks fans.
Matter of fact,
and 5 Hornets fans.
Matter of fact, let me give y'all a news take on Sacramento if y'all ain't already talked about it. Sacramento 5-9 in the Western Conference. They are near the bottom. They're the 3rd worst team in that conference.
The 12th seed.
So ain't even nothing to talk about.
Right.
And they just put a big contract out.
Matter of fact, they're the 13th seed.
They just gave a big contract to Fox. They just put their future invested in a team, and they're 5-9.
All I know is they're perennial losers.
Yeah.
And that was when they had Chris Webber, Jason Williams.
That's the last time they was relevant.
Solid, man.
That's the last time they was relevant.
But even then, I didn't see any Sacramento fans.
Yeah. I mean,
because they had Lakers jerseys on and ripped them off at halftime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the truth is in the pudding, man. Hey, as they would say.
Right.
This New York Knicks thing is global, man. I had a guy check in. He was checking in from Siberia.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Shout out to Siberia.
Yeah, this Knicks thing, we got him coming in from Australia.
Yeah,
we worldwide. I don't know nobody who repping for no Sacramento other than the people who probably live there. And shout out to them, man. No shade to them, man. But like I said, man, when I got into this thing, man, I always said I'm gonna stay me. I'm not gonna worry about what anybody else doing.
Hey, Ron,
you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, man, it's all about what the Knicks doing, man, and that's all I care about.
Hey, Ron, when you have two guys from Australia coming onto your show, what does that tell you?
That tell you that we're doing something right.
Right.
That tell you that the Knicks. That tell you that the Knicks got this thing together, and they better be happy that we had them injuries. Because I'm telling you right now, we would not be in the 6th seed. If we didn't have them injuries, we would not be in the 6th seed.
So this is why I agree. This is why I disagree with Ron Cleveland, right? And I keep telling him this, and he swear up and down. He swear up and down that I'm wrong. So YouTube is not just about that one thing of content. Mm-hmm. People have to be educated and entertained to stay on your channel.
Yeah,
If you pass 1,000 subscribers, they not just turning in for solely Knicks content. They like the people that are providing the Knicks content. That's what I keep telling Ron Cleveland, right? If like in Ron Cleveland's case, well, whatever number of subscribers that he got, they like Ron Cleveland first, and they like the Knicks content second. They like the fact that they're getting it from Ron Cleveland, right? This is what I keep telling Ron, but in his humble pie, in that down South Carolina way, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to look at it like that. And I'm not saying become an egomaniac. What I'm saying is keep being yourself, because people have choices where they can get their Knicks content from, and they choose to get it from you. You know what I'm saying? And so that means something to them. So that should mean something to you. You know what I'm saying? So like when the people could like right now we got 75 people in here, right? And I'm telling everybody, all 75, that I appreciate the fact that y'all come in here on the Knicks Morning Drive and hanging out with us, because y'all got plenty of options. Y'all could be in a lot of different other places, but y'all here with us. And so we are eternally thankful for y'all coming out and hanging with us.
Uncle Freezy,
absolutely.
Uncle Freezy, let me tell you about this man right here. Let me tell you about this man. I'm on after a Knicks game that I think we lost.
Yo.
And what's up, Evergreen? I was on Knicks Fan TV, and I'm listening to all of the calls, and I hear this dude. Say man, and give straight up knowledge.
Right.
That's what made I wasn't so much of a fan of Knicks Fan TV. I was a fan of this dude, waiting for him to call.
Right.
When he shows up on Sim's podcast, I'm like, and I see who he is. I'm like, yo, I had to immediately make sure that I talk with this dude, man.
Yeah.
Ron, you don't know what kind of a presence you have to get, with people.
Cornerstone. I first saw Ron. When I first heard Ron, right? It was on Knicks Fan TV, and he knows exactly where I'm going with this. He called CP and Jay Ellis in the preseason, or before the preseason training camp, and he said, "I'm telling you, CP, the Knicks go win 43 games." And he was going wild, and he made CP hang up on him. That's how crazy he was. He's crazy now.
Wow.
We're a few injuries away from being that type of thing.
I'm gonna hit him on Twitter.
Don't sound too crazy now.
And so shout out to those guys.
If we had a healthy Burke, we'd have 2 more games right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then we make our free throws. We'd have a few more games.
And you know what? That's the difference is, Free Keith. I'm looking at the standings. 2 more wins. That would put us roughly in 3rd place or tied for it.
Right.
Because
I can 9-5. I can pick up those games too. If we have
convince me otherwise.
So if we have a healthy game, if we have a healthy Alec Burke, we win the Oklahoma City game, and we win the Cleveland Cavaliers game that we just lost.
Absolutely.
How about Toronto?
Yeah, that Toronto game we probably win too, because Toronto wasn't playing good.
I'm just putting a 2 minimum. Like there's 2 games minimum. Burks alone, like forget everybody else unhealthy or whatever. Like Obi could have stayed out. Obi could have stayed out.
Right.
But Burks alone, his presence would have got us at least 2 more games.
Yeah.
Hey, let me hear from a man, Evergreen, man, because I haven't seen him in a while.
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
Hey, what's up, Evergreen?
What's up, man?
What's going on, y'all? Hope all is well with y'all. I hope everybody's doing good. I had to jump on it. I don't really get to come up on the platform too much because right around now I'm usually at work, but I just so happen to drive, get in the car. I saw my guys are on. Let me
Yeah, man.
Yo, I just want to say this, bro. I made a take. I'm on the Facebook group, all that. I be bugging out on all those people over there. I just want to say, for all the people that blame James Dolan for the last 20 years, y'all need to give him his props right now.
Say that again. Say that again, Evergreen. Say that again for him.
Louder for the kids in the back.
For everything that he's done and all the bad that he's done over the last 20 years, but he hired Leon Rose, who in return has reshaped the entire organization in one season with the help of Steve Mills' problems from 2 seasons before. Okay?
Less than one season.
Remember, he would not be in this position to do what he did with the cap space and all that. He would not be in that position if Steve Mills didn't make that bold trade. Okay?
Right.
Now,
True.
For the last 20 years, we've been blaming James Dolan, and I get it. He's an idiot for all the outside antics that he's done. The kicking out of Spike Lee, the Charles Oakley stuff, the ripping on the fans all day. He's an idiot for those things. But y'all gotta understand that James Dolan don't shoot jump shots. Right? He's the guy that hires the guy that writes the contracts. Right? He's the guy that hires the guy that writes the contract. And a lot of times when you're dealing with organizations that are, competing in a large market, somebody has got to be the scapegoat and someone is going to lose. It just so happens that we're at the top of the market, so it gets over-glorified when we lose, not realizing that over the last 20 years, there's been at least 4 other teams that damn near had the same exact record that we had. Okay?
Right.
So again, if we're gonna shun James Dolan and use him as the guy as a scapegoat for the last 20 years, we also gotta give that man his props for finally saying, you know what? I see what LA did over there with hiring an agent. Maybe this is something that'll work over here. And he hired his good friend agent Leon Rose, and we got something that came up out of it, right? So kudos to James Dolan. I'm not the guy that's going to jump down your throat. I never was. Like I said, I'm a firm believer that I know you don't shoot jump shots. You don't know how to play basketball defense. You probably don't even know how to throw the ball behind your back. So I can't even blame you for being the guy that's the complete, the other reason as to why this team has been bad for the last, 20 years. But
what's
now,
because the effort.
We get Alec Burks back. And Thibodeau decides to turn this into a 9-man rotation instead of an 8-man rotation, we are going to be a big problem.
Words I never thought I'd hear myself say. Wait till Burks comes back.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's so crazy, right? Like, okay, and then I want to also add too, we wanted Bogdanovich, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that who we wanted?
Yeah.
We wanted Bogdanovich, right? Bogdanovich was averaging 15 and 6. He was down at the bottom of the country, right? He was with Miami, right? 15 and 6 last season.
Right.
That's what he was with, Miami, right?
No, with Sacramento.
Sacramento.
I apologize. Sacramento. That's funny. We were just talking about Sacramento. He was averaging 15 and 6. He just got a bag, did he not?
Mm-hmm.
He did.
A bag.
He did.
And we paid Alec Burks, who also averaged 15 and 6. We paid that man damn near under $5 million.
Yo, we got a bunch of great contracts though. Like Cats is not peeping that.
Randle, Bird.
All of our contracts are great.
Noel.
Rivers.
We do not have one bad contract on the team. Julius Randle is making $18 million a year. If we pick him up on that option, it's $19 million.
It's still underpaid.
If we was a championship team, right? If we was a contending team, he would be like the 4th highest paid player on the team. He's the highest paid player on this team. Then next is R.J. Barrett, who's making under 10. You see what I'm saying?
He's playing like a player who's going to make more than under 10.
Yeah, the last 2 games he been playing over that $10 million.
Right. So all I'm saying is that you have to look at history, but you have to look at it in sections. You can't just go straight back to 20 years, and we can't dwell on the past from the Patrick Ewing shit. And excuse my language. We can't dwell on the past from the Patrick Ewing stuff, from the Marbury era, from the Melo era. We can't focus on that. This team needs our positive energy, and when we give them that positive energy, in return they want to play for it.
The reason it's not Dolan's fault is this.
Space right now, we need to keep it that way.
The reason it's not Dolan's fault is this, because you got to at least give him his effort, right? When he hired Isaiah Thomas, did any of us once think that Isaiah Thomas was a bad basketball mind?
I didn't.
No. I always knew he was a great guy when it came to drafting players. I said I knew he was going to draft good players.
You think he donated $80 million or 60, whatever it was, to Phil Jackson to ruin this team?
No.
You think he signed guys like Steve Mills to hurt this team?
No.
He went to guys that Isaiah Thomas had a good track record. If I was old enough to watch him during his playing career, I could have sat there and said he's going to be a good coach someday, or he's going to be a good front office guy someday. You know what I mean? Dolan isn't the only one that thought that he might, be solid. Same with Phil Jackson.
Exactly.
It's not like people.
Exactly. It's funny you mentioned that, because once he hired Phil, he said that he was staying out the way.
And he's been out of the way.
He held to his word.
Mm-hmm.
The only time he came in was just to get rid of Phil. Mills.
Let me tell you why Dolan ain't a bad owner. I know people want to kill him, but I'm gonna tell you like this: is one thing I look for more importantly in any of the teams that I like, the owners, and there's one team that I love, and I hate it because we're cheap. I love the Atlanta Braves in baseball. We're cheap. We're cheap. We're cheap. We're cheap when it comes to spending money.
Y'all trash.
No, we're not trash. We far from trash.
Who your team?
Hey, who?
We are far from trash. But we don't. That's why you say we trash, because we drag y'all. But the thing is,
I say that because I can leave my house on game day and go buy a ticket and sit 4 rows back on the third base line.
Yeah, because you follow a triple A. You follow a triple A.
Baseball is a whole different animal, man. I mean, them tickets are not expensive at all. I was shocked the first time I went to the game, but I say this to say this, man. When I look at my Braves, we're always on the cusp, right? And there's always these big name free agents out there that I know, and every Braves fan know, if we get this guy a championship, but we try to go the cheap route and keep going through our farm system, which is always one of the best in baseball. Everybody knows it. But you need that established go-getter that's going to take you over the top. The Braves would have already had a championship, in my opinion, if they would have done that. But when it comes to this Knicks thing,
Ryan, how many more players do y'all need? Y'all have Ronald Acuna Jr.
No,
y'all have Freddie.
Y'all have Lindor. You'll still win only 70 games.
We broke. Who we had? Who you said?
I said the Mets will have Lindor and still only win 70 games.
I'm gonna tell you what. Oh no, we overachieved this past year. Now the Braves overachieved because if Mike Soroka wouldn't have went down, I'm telling you right now, the Braves would have beat the Dodgers.
Hey, who y'all got? Y'all got somebody playing second base too, right?
Yeah, we got what's the guy named Ozzie Albies.
Yeah, oh my,
he's tough. But them guys young. You see what I'm saying? Them guys are very young. I know you talking about them. Them guys ain't been in the league 4 years.
Yeah, y'all got players.
They're very young, but the thing is, in baseball, you need that veteran, big presence. You need it.
That's why I wish Keuchel would have worked out for you guys. If he would have.
And then we had the veteran pitcher that Cole Hamels didn't play 5 games. And he
still have Tiki Toussaint.
But he's inconsistent. He's very inconsistent. He have a good game, and then he won't show up. Be like Frank Ntilikina. But I say this to talk about Dolan. When it comes to Dolan, man, one thing I always know about this dude.
Evergreen G just heard you say Frank. Now Frank is in the building. I'm just saying.
And you know I'm one of the biggest Frank supporters. You know I love Frank.
Well, you can't bash him, man. You can't bash him.
I ain't bashing him. I'm calling him what he is, man. We gotta be real. We gotta call him like we see it. But the thing I like about Dolan, man, this is the one thing I ain't never questioned about this dude. And I've heard people say this, and it don't make any sense, but he don't want to win. Ain't no owner in the business of not wanting to win. That man, and somebody said it yesterday on my show, and when he said that, I said, say that again. You tell me this man don't want to win, and this man sitting in the stadium when the Knicks ain't playing good, taking all that abuse that he's hearing from the fans, and this man don't want to win? You think this man is $1 billion owner?
And why he got problems? Why he got no problems with the Rangers?
Exactly, because he hired the right people, and that's all it is in sports. It ain't Golden State wasn't Golden State. They were terrible for a long time. When you hire the right people in position of authority and they make the right moves, it makes your owner look good. And all these teams, that's the flagship, even San Antonio, if they were making bad hires, everybody would talk about them in a bad light. You know what I mean? But the one thing I know about this owner, he ain't afraid to spend that money to bring players in and to bring front office people in. And guess what else he ain't afraid to do? To admit he made a mistake by getting guys out of town when they ain't doing their job.
So let me ask you this, Ron. Since y'all been Knicks fans long enough, when have you ever heard somebody tell Dolan to cut the check and he didn't do it?
That's never happened.
Well,
that's
he
never
said
happened.
He wouldn't give Kevin Durant the max because of his Achilles,
and I don't blame him,
which was smart.
I burned too many times.
Only thing he wanted to do was see the medicals,
which was smart.
And so the Knicks fans act like my man would not cut the check. My man was like, "Yo, I'll cut the check. Just let me see the medicals."
And Freezy, and to his point, let's say why you got to take it in its whole totality. The man that got burnt with contracts before,
right?
Amari Stoudemire, Allen Houston,
yep,
Eddie Curry, Jerome James,
Coutinho Mobley.
Think about it, because he didn't win nothing.
Stevie Franchise. Yep. We've had some terrible. Penny Hardaway, where people couldn't.
Eddie
Curry.
Yeah, you know, when players were just hurt, damaged goods, man, and dude, he's like, hey, I ain't taking no chance. I don't blame him. And then Achilles for a 30-plus-year-old athlete.
Antonio McDyess, Joakim Noah.
Yeah, McDyess is another one.
No, Joakim Noah. Oh no.
You know what I mean? Injuries, man. I don't blame that man. Hey, at some point you got to wisen up. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome.
Salute. Hey,
what's up, fam?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Rocket?
Hey, my man never said that he would not cut the check. He was like, before I cut the check, I just want to see the medicals.
But when he saw something was fishy, he was all right with walking away. He didn't have to just throw the bag at him, and that's why
I don't blame him.
It was smart.
I don't blame him, and we didn't mortgage our future. That shelf life over there across the bridge is very short, and if anything less than a championship is a failure. Let that sink in.
Even
and they've mortgaged their future.
A failure, in my opinion, because that talent, just one ring, and then you have no future.
But the thing is,
and they still won't run New York.
As long as that man in that cape is down there in LA with that soon to be Batman that's backing him up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard day for anybody right now, man.
Exactly.
Hey, the Shades game is dope.
Yeah, man, hey, that's the rock star right there, Mr. Rocket, man.
So I'm a connoisseur. The eyeglass game is dope.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna go out on the limb.
Hey, I might have to do the same thing.
So let me.
We the number one. Salute to the Knicks, man. We the number one defense in the NBA right now.
Say that again for him, Rocket. Let him hear what you're talking about. Tell him again. Tell the people.
Say it, dog. Say it. Talk that talk.
As of January 19th, 2021, the New York Knicks are officially the number one defense in the NBA, and we are leading on a bunch of stats.
Yeah.
How many points they got on the
Talk that talk, Rockstar.
I love that. Talk that talk, man.
Mr. Rockstar Rocket, you're in the building.
We got a few days to lay off on this
road trip. That's my guy right there.
We got a few days to lay off on this road trip.
Yeah, get Mitch right. Yeah, we're going to get Mitch right. Mitch going to rest up. He's going to get in that treatment room. He's going to get that massage, man. He's going to get that ice bath. You know what I mean? Hey, but you know what? People were looking at me crazy when I said we was going to be a top 10 defense. Remember I said that, Freezy?
I just posted some clips on my channel. You guys can go check it out if you like.
Okay.
After the morning.
All right.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go out here. Hey, what's up, Joe Madden?
What's happening, guys? How we doing?
Jay,
Hey, man, good. I'm gonna go out here on this limb. Like I normally do on the Knicks morning drive. I'm gonna go out here on this limb and say the Knicks are gonna beat the Warriors.
Oh yeah,
and San Francisco by 20 points. Julius Randle is gonna have a triple double.
I'm gonna tell you the whole. The reason why I'm gonna say hold up on that, like, yo, Cats is sleeping. I think Cats sleep a little bit too much on this light skinned dude Curry, yo.
Yeah, well, he's nasty, man. He's nasty.
Yo,
he's nasty till the finals. He's nasty until the finals.
Y'all really not understanding that pretty young face is just a pretty young face, and that like behind that pretty young face hides a killer.
Yeah, you want to put your heart at your chest.
Like
until the finals.
I think the league is. I think people are entirely sleeping on his ability and his drive to win.
He's playing the best basketball of his career.
He's doing that right now. He's not really respecting it. So I'm not gonna say like I think we're gonna beat them, but to say we're gonna beat them by a dub.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Real quick. He wants to take your heart out. He wants to take your heart out. Kelly Lee Oubre wants to take out your head. All right, that's the guy I'm afraid of.
You want to know how we do it, Freezy? How we make your prediction come true?
Defense.
We hypnotize Steph Curry before the game and tell him it's the NBA Finals.
I'm gonna tell you how I think. I'm gonna tell you how I think. I'm gonna tell you how I think. How I think the Knicks are gonna win by 20 in Golden State. I think Randall's gonna get a triple double, but that's just gonna be an end result of what he already does well. What I think is going to be the turning point is just what you mentioned. Kelly Oubre trying to take it to RJ Barrett in a test of wills. In a test of wills, I think Kelly Oubre is a dog.
I do too.
I love him.
But RJ Barrett is that different type of dog. He a different breed. He a different breed of dog. He's that dog with he's the one that likes to fight and has a short-term memory, like RJ Barrett is the type of dog that's a fighter because he comes from a breed of fighters, not because he has to do it. Like Tyson Fury is not a fighter because he likes to fight, but because he loves to fight and comes from a breed of fighters. It's in his blood already. Like when Kelly Oubre comes to fight RJ Barrett, if he comes with that wolf, like I'll bark at every dog that come through my neighborhood. RJ Barrett was like, well, I'm not the type of dog that let dogs bark at me when I come in a neighborhood. RJ Barrett is that type. And y'all may disagree, but I saw RJ Barrett miss 21 straight three-pointers, and guess what he did?
Kept shooting.
He shot another one. I know dudes that have missed 8 in a row, and they wouldn't shoot a 3 for 2 games. RJ Barrett missed 21 straight threes, and he kept shooting. That's a special type person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
his game up at the free throw line too.
The type of
nerves of steel.
I still don't
game up at the free throw line too.
He shot us out of games.
right.
Looking confident at the free throw line.
But
I'm with intelligent use of talent.
But my point is the fight is there.
Respecting that. You shoot me out of the game, I'm looking at you funny.
My point is the fight is there though, Free Keep. My point is the fight is there.
I'm gonna give y'all another stat.
Kelly Oubre, if Kelly Oubre, who's struggling himself offensively now.
Is he really?
Yes, terribly.
Yeah, he had a good game last night, but he had been struggling.
Yeah, but I'm here to say that I saw dudes do the same thing to other cats with that mentality. You know what I'm saying? And all the dude does is make the dudes with that mentality ratchet up. Like you thought I was that before, and now you pushing me to my limits, bro. I'm here to tell you, I think RJ gonna go for 20 and 10 against Golden State Thursday.
I'm gonna tell y'all another thing, man. Another stat. got another good stat for you guys. Why we gonna win this game? Coming into that last game, the Knicks was 11th in the league in points in the paint. What that tells me is that your team is tough. They're tough because they're taking it to the paint. It ain't easy to score in the paint. It ain't easy. It's easy to sit out there and jack up jump shots. Going in there with them trees them sequoias.
Yeah.
Sequoias.
You know what I mean? It ain't easy. And shout out to RJ, man. He constantly going there, man. Alpha EP, not EPMD. He goes in there. EPMD. And he goes in there strong.
Yo, y'all gonna give my man Elf his flowers, yo.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. He goes to that basket. He goes to that basket. You know it, AKA the junkyard dog Julius Randle, the second coming of Anthony Mason gonna do. Because this game is a mirror image to Anthony Mason.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him his flowers on his way out the door.
Both of them left-handed can handle that rock and coming at you.
I think Alfred Payton has a tough floor for 17.
Their game is not the same, yo. Like,
it's similar. It's very similar.
No,
I got to disagree with you, Keith. You forgot how that man used to handle that rock.
Randall does not have the handle that Mace had.
Not 100%, but he got some handles. He ain't sloppy with it.
Not in traffic handles. Randall can handle in the open court.
Yeah,
sure.
His open court.
But Mason had guard like handles.
Yeah, Mason had that. But
got busy like a guard on with. Like,
hey, I'm with you, but I'm telling you, when you look at them guys' game, it's a mirror image. You know what I mean? Mason handles
New York street ball handles.
It's definitely better.
Big man.
You know what I mean?
New York street ball handle.
Yeah.
New York street ball handle, man.
When you look at two of these guys, man, that junkyard dog mentality, they ain't taking no for an answer. They coming at you. They don't care how big you are. You know what I mean? They ain't taking no for an answer. Both of them guys had that same kind of it factor. And I'm gonna tell you, Isaiah Thomas, shout out to Isaiah Thomas. We talked about him. Isaiah Thomas said Tibbs and Randle are a match made in heaven. That sometimes players find the right coach later in their careers that unlocks them.
There was another guy that used to be an assistant to Tibbs that said, wait, it was like 2 weeks before the preseason started, Ron, and I forget who it was, but Doris Burke was talking about it during the Brooklyn game, and he said, you just wait and see what this man does with Julius Randle.
And this is, fans act like they have selective hearing. Right. I went into the summer telling cats like, y'all keep sleeping on Julius if y'all want to, but I bet you money he becomes Tibbs' workhorse. Like, he's going to be Tibbs' workhorse. Y'all
locked it in Mitchell Robinson too. Locked the key in Mitchell Robinson too.
Absolutely. Shout out to Mitch. Keep going, Keith.
He have to fight Mitchell Robinson too, man.
Yeah.
Who's the starting center in Golden State?
He got him out of
Wiseman.
Wiseman. Yeah.
Sacramento. About Mitch not shooting, that they not realizing how much of a defensive beast he's becoming.
Hey, and I got something today, Keith. Everybody watched the game, right? Did you see him working with Kenny Payne on a post up? They showed it. They showed him working on a post up move, and I was like, I say that's exactly what I've been saying all the time. That they're holding him back. They're allowing him to learn that defensive side, and when they're ready to unleash him offensively, look out.
That's going to translate to offense. The defense translates to offense, man.
Absolutely, Rocket.
That time that y'all wanted to give to Frank, give that to Mitch. Like, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give that to Mitch. Like, Mitch will pay off dividends.
Absolutely.
It's showing. You just got to
ready. Exceeding that contract. That contract, we stealing money with that contract we gave him.
Oh yeah.
He's got to protect him at all costs, man. He's taking a beating in these last couple of games. He kept us in games. He's a staple point in that defense.
The only thing that gives me problems with Mitch is because he can't go up against the dominant bully bigs in the game.
Just the weight.
He can't stop the beat. He can't stop the He's not big enough.
He's learning.
So y'all cut me off before I finish my prediction. Let me do my prediction. And so not only do I feel like we're going to beat Golden State by 20, I feel like we may go 4-0 on that West Coast trip.
Ooh.
Who we got? Wait, who we got?
Pray to God you're right.
We got Golden State, and then we got Sacramento, then we got Portland, and then we got
Utah.
Utah Jazz.
We got Utah the fourth game, and then we come back home.
Portland and Utah might be the problem.
Hey, so here's the thing.
I'm with you.
Here's the thing. Did we beat the Utah Jazz already this year? Yes.
Off of 14 straight by Austin Rivers. Is that
yes.
Well, you know what? We got that inside man in house called Johnny Bryant that knows your boy.
Yeah.
Is Bert coming back? Is Bert coming back?
Oh yeah, he's day to day. Right now they're saying he's gonna be back pretty soon.
He might be coming back on the second day of the back to back.
So here's the only team that I fear that we may get blown out by is Portland, right?
I give you a reason why that ain't gonna happen.
And so I was gonna say, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna back out, and I'm gonna let y'all eat. But Portland's guards against the number one defense in the NBA is a matchup that I like. I'm gonna get out y'all way.
And they said that CJ McCollum. They said yesterday that CJ McCollum is hurt and Nurkic is out.
Yeah, but the thing, guys, you got to remember is Alfred might be a solid defender, but guys like Curry and Lillard, they're worldly, man, and Quick ain't stopping them. Alfred ain't stopping them.
Well,
guess what? You still got to guard Quick too. That's another thing. We know Steph Curry can't guard nobody.
Yeah, but Steph Curry can't guard nobody. Contain Steph Curry and Damian Lillard. If you put your coach's hat on, what are you guys going to do to contain them?
But you know what? Both them guys ain't no guard. They don't guard people. Their defense is offense. And quickly gonna give you that offense too. So as much as he gonna have a problem with them, they're gonna have a problem with him too. That young fella is the truth. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like strictly on offense, what are you guys throwing at? Like at Steph Curry says Kelly Oubre can't shoot, Wiggins can't shoot, and all those guys. Are you boxing one of them and making him pass the shooters? No, but are you trapping him? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Naomi said McCollum broke his foot.
You can't just assume that.
He's not playing in Nurkic is out.
You gotta watch those double screens. You gotta watch those double screens that the Golden State sets.
Yeah,
you gotta watch those double
screens.
The
only team I'm really concerned with on this road trip really is Sacramento, and it's because they love to run. De'Aaron Fox, that's gonna be a game. I wouldn't be surprised if quickly starts because Alfred Payton is not gonna be able to handle him. He's gonna be too fast for Alfred Payton.
Oh, but Curry's too fast for Alfred Payton. Too.
Yeah,
Curry ain't that kind of De'Aaron Fox speed, man.
I'm saying he's still too quick for Alfred.
I don't think so.
I don't think
half the league is too quick for Alfred.
Thank you.
Y'all really disrespect him. Y'all really disrespect Alf a lot. Like
yes, I do.
Yeah,
and it's pointless though. Like because when actually the games that he's played well in, we've won. Like
yes. When a guy who's trash plays a good game, we win games.
What are you talking about when a guy who's trash plays a good game? Like, the dude he's not putting up
the dude's a true point guard who has multiple games with 0 assists.
Dude,
that's why we run the offense to Julius.
Because I was about to say because the offense is being run through the point forward.
Right. So you want a shooter out there like Quickly or Rivers to counteract that, so he has someone to pass out to more than just Kevin Knox. Or guys like that. Alfred Payton can't shoot.
He does other things. Like y'all act like
what Alfred Payton brings to the game. No, I see what he brings to the court. And he
brings toughness, man.
He's able to get the points in the paint for us as far as.
We already have enough guys that get points in the paint.
Hey, let me give y'all Alfred Payton stats for the year so far: 13.1 points, 4.1 rebound, 4.1 assists a game.
Percentages?
That's EP. I'm just looking at
10-7 guys still. I mean, there's a reason teams give up on him. Nobody wants.
Oh yeah, I mean I agree with you. He's inconsistent, but when he plays well, the Knicks play well. You know, to Keith's point, man. But the one thing I know about the guy is he will play defense. He will do that because he had some key stops in that game yesterday, man. That got us to win.
And that dunk was wild, crazy. He had in the game too.
That's the second
when he went to the lane, I was like, "Ooh!"
That's not the first one he had in the season too. That's like the second or third he had.
Yeah. He like bump that. I'm gonna take somebody.
I like Alfred coming out of the draft, and I hope he succeeds. But I can't stand the inconsistency.
He definitely flawed. The same thing I say about Austin Rivers. I love Austin Rivers, but now I see. Now I see why he's moving around. But I'm gonna tell you, I think his biggest problem right now, Austin Rivers, he's lost his confidence, man. because he's not even shooting. He's not shooting them wide open threes, man. When he got an opportunity, he give them up too much.
I was playing this out on the thread the other day, like, yo, like, why your man's not like, yo, like, what? Why is he scared of shooting the threes? What's going on?
Confidence, man.
I think he might got hurt.
He needs to give up.
Yeah,
I think that injury.
I think so too, Rocket. To your point, that was something too. He hurt. He hurt his foot. He did something with his toe or something. He stubbed it.
He messed up.
His hand too. Remember, wasn't his hand hurt too?
Yeah, I remember that too. He was holding his right hand, I think.
No.
He's right. He was holding his toe and his arm. He did something.
The one thing I have to give Rivers is maybe can be inconsistent on offense, but his defense is good. He's
he's scrappy.
Defense.
He's very scrappy.
And that's why I like it because
he'll compete.
Yeah, and you could have nights. We've seen it through his career where he has nights and he could rack up 40.
Yeah,
and it's easy for him. He done it in the bubble. He done it 3 or 4 times in his career where he's just gone off and hit 40. He's one of them microwave scorers where one night he could put 20 and the next night you might be able to get 3. He might got him for 3 or 4. But we got the thing is, we got him for nothing. We got him for peanuts.
And shout out to Leader. He right. Rivers been fouling a lot here lately. He has been fouling a lot.
Yeah, a lot of them were bad calls though. Like him taking offensive fouls. Then was it him taking him?
But them reach fouls. He been getting a lot of reach fouls, man. You know the ref's gonna call that, man. You can't be reaching.
Rivers though, and I know he's inconsistent, like sort of like an Elfrid Payton type. But you know why I like Austin Rivers is he's going to compete every minute on the floor. And I'm not saying other guys don't, but like when you hear Tibbs or guys say the stories about when he was a high school kid going up against that big 3 in Boston, with utter confidence, I want guys like that. Like I know he might have lost his confidence now, but like he's a baller, man.
I don't think he lost his confidence. Like that's not like.
No, I'm saying we're speculating that he might. But what I'm saying is the dude
is in the league too long for that. He's just
he's been on playoff teams and stuff. Confidence is a problem.
Battling through injuries real quick.
He's always streaky.
I agree with you, Keith. He always been streaky. When he gets hot, like to Joe's point, man, he can light you up real quick.
You just hope it's a good game, but he always been up and down on the offense.
Yeah,
I like to see how he's dogging the defense though. Like that's something you don't need to worry about your shot dropping.
Yeah.
He plays defense. He always plays defense. That's one thing about him. No matter how his shot ain't falling, you can always count on him showing up on that defensive end.
Yo, I have a quick question for you guys. I'm going to go off the limb a little bit here. Would you guys give up DSJ or a second round pick or Waitley gave waivers for Kevin Porter Jr.?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want Kevin Porter.
No. But DSJ ain't doing nothing for you, so you take a.
I'm gonna tell you, I send DSJ someplace else.
He's not doing.
I send DSJ someplace else. I don't want nobody in the locker room with that kind of attitude, man.
No, I don't want. If it don't work out, you get it for the cheap and you get rid of it.
Did you hear the full story on that, Ron?
They changed the man. They changed the man's locker room. Trash room.
Literally, guys in the locker room all have personal stuff. Kevin Porter was out because of personal family issues. He came back Friday when we played the Knicks. He went back to his locker room. He's seen that they picked up all of his stuff and they moved it to a different locker room without telling him, and he went off. And I've seen a lot of players.
Say that part what you just said again. Just say what you and then just listen to that song. That's an excuse. Go ahead. Say that again. What you just said. You know what I mean? Ain't like they put his stuff in the trash can or put his stuff outside the building. They move his stuff to a different locker. So you gonna act up, man? I don't want that on our team, man. I'm sorry.
DSJ a head case too in his own right. He gets
but DSJ ain't doing that kind of stuff. What DSJ ain't being no head case with us.
An organization where they never do something like that to a player. They never.
He ain't doing it. He ain't doing it. DSJ ain't never done no act like that, man. Act like no petulant child.
But this isn't the first time in Cleveland. Players have had problems with that. You traded for a guy. Torian Prince comes in. You've been out with family issues. You go back to your locker to your stuff, and they literally pick up all your personal stuff and move it to a locker way down the corner to put Prince in your locker.
Hey, Joe, let me tell you something, man.
But hold on 1 second, no, Ron. If Cleveland called him and be like, "Yo, we're moving your locker," that's one thing. They didn't tell him. That's like them telling them, "Oh, we're changing your jersey number," without telling you.
You also got to think the owner of the Cavs.
Ain't no excuse, man. Ain't no excuse to act like that, man. I'm sorry, man.
But look at that organization.
It's about being a professional, man. You getting paid millions of dollars to be a professional first. You know what I mean? You always got to be a professional. There's a way to handle things, man. You know what I mean? Just because they move your stuff, come on, man.
Yeah,
Come
but
on,
J.R.
fellas.
Smith done the
Ron,
same thing. J.R.
we're
Smith
all
was throwing
professionals.
shoot.
Listen what you defending though. I don't defend JR
I'm
with
not.
that either.
I'm not
Ron,
defending him, but I'm just saying is there's two
Man,
sides to every
that is a
story.
big point, man.
Ron,
Now,
think about this.
if he didn't have that issue,
Y'all talking about these millionaire children, yo. You bugging
Think
out.
about this
Babies,
for a
man.
minute. Think
Like,
about this for a minute,
these are
Ron.
kids. These are kids with millions of dollars.
But still, think about this, y'all. And I haven't come to this day yet, but I know there's plenty of people out there who have lost their parents, who have had terrible things happen to their family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, real quick before I go on what I'm about to say, do you know what family issues he had?
Well, I know there's a lot of mental issues. They said he got
Right.
arrested with weed and a gun about a year ago.
I don't want that on our team.
Okay, but yeah, keep going.
But he had a lot of family issues. His mom, I think, is going through some illness, and he lost his dad a couple of years ago by being shot. So I think he's going through a little bit of a mental. But the problem is, players usually have their there's help organizations give, and the Cleveland Cavaliers have given him nothing. We know the Cavs have had problems with guys because the Cavs are just a bad organization. I feel if the Knicks bring him in here,
look at the guy that's in the streets right now. That used to play with LeBron. What's his name?
Delonte West.
Delonte West.
But
Hey,
anyway,
I got to respond to somebody in the chat. Who's that gentleman I just saw? Professional outfit. He said, "Hey Ron, did you like Sprewell? I mean, he choked the coach." Yeah, I like Sprewell. The man got suspended for it too, and everybody deserves a second. Everybody deserves a second chance.
He came back and said $21 million.
No. Don't go there. Don't go there. The man learned. The man ain't had a problem with no more coaches. He ain't had no more problem with no more coaches. You talking about money matters? I'm talking about physicalities with anybody. Don't go there. And for dude to say, "Oh, he's a thug," or he had that incident with the coach. I'm not gonna hold that against the man. The man ain't perfect, but I'm telling you right now, if this kid throwing food at people, and because his stuff got moved out of a locker, I don't want that. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't want that. I'm gonna tell you why I don't want that on our team. We got a bunch of young players. We're trying to change the culture. I don't want that kind of headache. And another thing, when you look at the team that Sprewell came to, it was a team with veterans, an established situation. That wasn't gonna happen in New York. They weren't gonna let that happen.
Also, Ron, to your point, Thibodeau is not gonna let that stuff fly either.
I'm gonna tell you, they ain't touching that, man.
What I'm saying is,
Leon looking for character guys, man.
Like, for example, like I said, I've never got to the point where I lost a parent or something like that. But my grandfather, when I was 20, my grandfather passed away, and I was messed up from it because of different things I'm not going to go into on a live chat. But regardless, he was like a father to me, right? And I was in my workforce. I was supposed to be a professional, and some dude said something stupid to me, and it was right after it happened. I probably shouldn't have been at work, but I went off. What I'm saying is, you have a young kid who something traumatic happens to over and over and over again. You expect stuff like this to happen. You don't know how to handle things yet. You're not a grown man. You might be a young guy, but you're not a grown man. And everything
he's 20 years old.
You're playing a children's
I
game.
give you all that, man. I ain't holding that against him, but I don't want it in the locker room, man. I don't.
To your point about Sprewell, what was the reason he choked his coach out? What was the reason he choked? He said he was going to kill him. What was the reason? You're saying Kevin Porter.
What I heard, it was disrespectful stuff going back. He was saying some disrespectful stuff to Sprewell. The coach was saying
about his play on the field or play on the court.
Well, I don't know the whole story. All I know is that it's some disrespectful stuff they said was being said. So you have to do your research on that one. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, but still, like, he's threatened to kill the man.
I'm not going to speculate on that.
From what I remember, it was something about him just going at him in practice for little to no reason. Sprewell thought.
Yeah, I'm not going to even. I can't confirm nor deny that statement.
Neither can I.
I ain't going to speak on that. You know what I mean? I ain't going to put my John Hancock to that.
All I know is I would
changed his career.
Throw DSJ in a second round pick at them.
I'll say this, fellas. I'll say this. Y'all got me thinking, right? Because I always believe in second chances. You know what? With the coach we got, he wouldn't pull that stunt.
Yeah,
I'm convinced he wouldn't pull that stunt. Because for one, you know what they'll do? You know what they'll do? They'll sit him down and be like, "Hey, young man, this is what we expect. If you don't live up to the terms of the deal, because we might not even have to give up nothing for him. He might get cut because they're saying
he might get cut.
He might get cut.
You cut Theo Pinson or DSJ, and then you sign him for the minimum and see what happens.
And we send Frank out too.
Because then if something happens, you can just waive him because he's not making big money.
Exactly. It'll be like who's the guy in the NFL that always used to have like Pac-Man Jones type situation.
No,
you know what I mean? No, I'm saying so far as Pac-Man was on them type of contracts where it was little room for error, you know, or he would be gone. So that's what's going to happen. But I would take.
We don't have to give up any assets for him. Like they waive him. I would definitely.
Yeah, I'd take a flyer. I'd take a flyer in that case. Yeah, it ain't gonna hurt. He's what? He's 20 and
20.
He's 6 foot. He's 6 foot.
6'6". I think he plays the 2 and he can play the 3. So when we're talking about we need a 3, that's a guy that can come in and can give Knox a bit of competitiveness. Because the guy's an all-around basketball player. He is just so much of an upside. He's super raw. So I think you bring him in here, you get his mind right, and you get him with this coaching stuff, he can be something.
Yeah, Tibbs will do wonders with him.
I think Tibbs is also good at as an assistant coach of that big 3. We can't act like I'm not saying Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and those guys were like head cases or anything, but they all had big egos. Yeah. So Tibbs, a guy like as an assistant coach, your job on a team like that is to reel them in, right? And I feel like Tibbs could make the world simple for this young guy. He could say, "Look, instead of going out and doing dumb stuff off the court, if you don't got nothing better to do, come with me. I'll pick you up. Let's go look at film. Let's do something."
Sign me up for it. You know who I thought about on our staff that'll be huge for him? Is Woody. Because I think about what Woody did with J.R. Smith. And J.R. said he was more like a father figure to him.
But that's what we're doing with DSJ right now.
Yeah, they're working with DSJ too. So and then Johnny Bryant will help him. Because that position he plays is the same one that, ironically,
picking up,
Donovan Mitchell plays.
I only bring up Tibbs because he's the type where he's not even married. He's married to basketball.
Yeah.
So he would sit there and look at Kevin Porter and say, he's known to be there all hours of the night looking at film and stuff. If I was his coach, I'd say, look, if you even think about doing something stupid, call me. I will go to the ends of the earth, pick you up, and let's go do something that's conducted to the team, conducted to you as a man.
I'm going to tell you, that's why I've been really disappointed in DSJ because when
he quits,
when they said that Tibbs went personally after training camp to North Carolina to work out with him, I was like, wow. I said, now that lets you know the coach is really, you know what I mean? He behind you. Something you didn't have with us last year, and something you didn't have in Dallas.
And if it doesn't work,
you got a coach that believes in you and wants you to be good. So I was shocked that it didn't work out
on the roster. So
and still to have him. Yeah, exactly. He gave up on him.
There's nothing wrong in my opinion with taking a flyer.
Yeah.
When you have guys.
Yeah, y'all got me thinking. Hey, being a talent acquisition fans anyway.
Too, Ron, is he's a dog too. He plays to play the game aggressively and defensively. Like the guy kid is a pit bull. He's just too much of a pit bull where he's a little bit crazy. But I think if the Knicks organization his numbers, he only played one season, but he was averaging, I think, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 or 3 assists. But he wasn't getting
Bayline with all that crap.
Yeah, and he wasn't getting crazy minutes.
When Michigan's old coach was pulling that racist stuff.
Yeah.
There was some stupid stuff where he had to fire, or he had to resign because of that crap. So
and
that wasn't the most conductive environment for a young team either.
Yeah, and he's super duper. His upside is crazy. He can create it. He can shoot off the catch and create his own shot. He's a good player.
They let him walk. He's getting scooped. Nobody's gonna be worried about that. Is he a head case?
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna be like, you know what?
Someone's picking him up.
Dumb as hell. They'll be dumb as hell to just let him walk without trying.
Yeah, they'll be real dumb for that. You don't let you. He was a first round pick, wasn't he? Lottery pick.
Nah. Late first. He moved up. They moved up in the draft. He fell in the draft because of an injury, but the injury wasn't major. And I think it was just his.
It was dumb that he
his,
slipped that far. Actually, tell you the truth.
Yeah, I think he was like 30th or something in that first round.
Yeah, he's averaging 10 points. He's averaging 10 points, 3.2 assists.
So he can play make a little bit.
3.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists.
How many minutes? How many minutes?
Look like I think it's at 10.82.
Right.
How many minutes?
Really well.
Let's see. What is his minutes?
So Anthony 212 was in the building. Kaiser Sauce. The usual suspect. I see you. So I grabbed a little something to nibble on, some vittles, and I heard the Sprewell conversation and the Kevin Porter Jr. thing. The thing with Sprewell, just want to throw this out there. The thing with Sprewell is what y'all got to remember is PJ Carlesimo was not the type of coach that would come and talk to you, as a guy like, hey man, listen, you're making a mistake right here. PJ Carlesimo would bark at you like you were a dog, talk to you in an ill-mannered type of way. And a lot of coaches back in the 90s, 80s, 90s type coaches used to do that and forget the people that they're coaching are individuals. It's the reason why Chris Webber left Golden State, because Don Nelson talked to him like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But he left him. He didn't choke him out. Like
no. I get it. I get what you're saying, and I'm not advocating for violence. But what I'm saying is that when somebody treats you a certain way, day after day after day, it'll grind on you. And I could see where somebody could just reach their limit and just snap. And I'm not saying Sprewell was right, but I understand a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm not advocating for violence. I don't. Not in professional sports and not in homes or none of that stuff. Right? Violence is never the answer. But when you got a guy that's a yeller, and he admitted that he's a yeller, he yell at people all the time. That's how he communicate. I don't communicate that way. You know what I'm saying? And I don't advocate for that. But I understand the thing with Sprewell. You know what I'm saying? And Sprewell, he served, he got suspended. He said
for the whole year.
Yep, he said out, he got his mind right and all of that stuff. And he came back, and you didn't hear incidents like that with Jeff Van Gundy when he went to the Knicks.
And you know what else? The Sprewell point, you never heard about him doing anything remotely close to that before that happened. Right. It's just one of them. It's just an unfortunate thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that PJ Carlesimo was guilty. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that two grown-ups should have been able to handle that better. You know what I'm saying? If you want the best out of somebody, you talk to them in a different way. You know what I'm saying? You don't just yell at somebody and be disrespectful like that day after day after day after day after day after day. You know what I'm saying? Even if you are in a position of authority, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't abuse that. You shouldn't abuse that authority is what I'm getting at. And
how people grow up and the different environments to which they're like you're dealing with cats now that's legit coming from the hood. Like cats will black out and forget that they're millionaires and punch you.
Yeah, you're right. They go back to what they know. They revert back to what they know. You're right.
Especially if you're putting me in a mentally frustrating situation and and you're harassing me, or I feel like, I'm saying, like, you shouldn't be talking to me this way. And if I was in the streets, I would not allow the way you talking to me to be talking to me.
Right.
You're gonna get hooked off on.
Right. Like they say, you can't approach everybody the same way, man. What works for one player,
right? And so what people fail to realize is this guy's livelihood was being threatened. Like, every day you like, man, you such and such, you saw, man, I'll sit you down, and so you sit you down. The dude don't make the All-Star team. He made it's a whole bunch of stuff that snowballed. What should have happened is the adults in the room should have got in between the coach,
the front office,
and these players, but instead they allowed it to fester. And so the thing is the reason why I brought up the Don Nelson and Chris Webber thing is because Don Nelson created that environment of you can yell at everybody as much as you want, And then when he left, the guy that took his place picked up the mantle and did the same thing. So there was like this snowballing bad environment of how you treat players, and authority was abused. And ironically, when you look at Golden State now, it looks like the complete opposite. All these many years later, you look at Steve Kerr, and I don't even know if you ever seen Steve Kerr raise his voice. You know what I'm saying? So
totally different philosophy.
Right. And so the thing with this kid from Cleveland, we all have different backgrounds. Everybody in the video chat probably has a different background, right? And we all have different experiences and things of that sort. And we all have a limit that push to it, we're going to strike back. If we get to a point where we get to our limit, there's going to be a point of bounce back where we feel like we reached our limit and we can't take no more, right? And so I out of respect for everybody here, I never try to push y'all that way. I try to treat y'all like men and be respectful, right? And I expect the same from y'all towards me and the people in the virtual chat, right? But this kid Kevin Porter, we don't know all the details. Only thing that we know are reports this and reports that. You don't know where this kid is mentally, right? And if y'all saying if he gets cut, should we take a chance? I say yes, because everybody deserves a second chance, right? But when you're ready for that chance, you don't deserve a second chance if you're still in that same space. You have to develop something and say, hey, listen, I'm ready to move past what happened. I was pushed to a point. This is what I did to get right. Now, I'm ready for that second opportunity. But if you bring in the same stuff, you don't deserve nothing, right? Because you gotta back in the day. I might be a little older than some people here, but back in the day, we used to call it one to grow on. You know what I'm saying? like because I remember, man, I was about I was about 10. And this dude, no lie, this is a true story. I was about 10. And this dude that was older than me, he was about 14. He was selling weed, right? And I was like, yo, this dude got a bike. You know what I'm saying? He got all the dope shoes, all this stuff, and he's soft. You know what I'm saying? So I saw him, and I walked up. I was like, yo, think you was walking around here with such and such. This dude kicked my behind too. And it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, one of them things, shoot on the fair one, good fight. This dude, you know what I'm saying? He beat me up, right? And then did me dirty. He was like trying to bust bottles on me and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm 10. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? You know what I learned after that? You know what I learned? Yo, you can't just roll. You can't just push people, dog. My point is this. The reason why I say that is this. You can't just be like, I had to learn that the me getting beat up was one to grow on. You know what I'm saying? I had to, stay in my lane and be, I had to learn that. Because if I didn't catch that L, I might have been talking greasy like that on and on and on. But I learned that lesson early, right? And so with Kevin Porter Jr., he might be learning that lesson right now. He may not be. But if the Knicks take a chance on him, what I like to do is at least see that young man learn from a mistake, because playing NBA basketball is not a given. For every one dude like him that has talent, there are thousands of dudes that have the same talent that didn't get that shot. You know what I'm saying?
More talented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or maybe even more. Yeah. Maybe even more.
All about situations.
So if he's cut and we sign him, I expect him to be in a different place mentally when he get here. You know what I'm saying? And also I expect the franchise to understand that people that make mistakes are people that make mistakes. So if he gets here and he makes a mistake, don't you judge him and be like, yo, he made a mistake. Hey, dog, all of us make mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
The truth, man.
If we sign him and he gets here, we have to nurture him, realize he a kid, and realize that he's going to make more mistakes. But what we need to do is bring him. If we sign him now, bring him into the family and be like, dog, We understand that you made a mistake and make mistakes, man. But we here to support you. Now, don't abuse this thing, right? Because being an NBA player is not a given, right? One team cut you. Hey, you know what? This team can cut you too. You know what I'm saying? So you need to embrace your second chance. Come out and be a professional. Don't get overheated. Because what happens is, don't nobody get mad over you changing the locker. There's other stuff.
There's more to that.
That bubble underneath the surface. So you need to get those other things underneath the surface fixed, so that the small, because what happens is, it's always the straw that breaks the camel back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about the entire load that's on that camel's back. It's just that last straw.
Yes.
That broke the camel's back. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin Porter needs to figure out that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then once he figures out that stuff, then he'll be a better pro. Be a better man first.
Yeah, get your mind right.
Yep.
You can't do nothing if your mind ain't right. Got to get your mind right. And to Free Keith's point earlier, man, when he talked about the guy age, man, hey, we all were 20 at one time, man. And I'm gonna tell you, hey, let me tell you, Keith. Me and my cousins and stuff, man, we were sitting around, right? And I was just telling them it's crazy how, your mentality changed, man. And I remember how I was at 2021. You know what I mean? And how I am now, even with the way I handle money. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I remember I told my cousins, man, I told them, I said, you know what I would have said to that 20-year-old Ronald right now? I'd have been like, boy, you think you know something, but you dumb. You don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing. You know what I mean?
I'm only 26, and if I met the 18-year-old Zach's coach's desk, I would Latrell Sprewell his behind so quick. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
But you also think, for me, in my aspect, I don't want to go too detailed in my personal life, but I have had mental health issues for a long time. It's in the family. Right. But if I didn't have somebody like my father or my mother or my son, people to reel me in, people to live for, or people to not shelter me, but just take me under their wing, or motivation to live, my life would be so much different. I may not even be here. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, Kevin Porter, maybe, I don't know the man, but maybe, just maybe, you get someone so dedicated to their craft like Tibbs, or these guys, or guys like Randle, who could have went one way but ended up becoming so much better. Guys like this that are just, they could have such an impact on not even just him on the floor and for the Knicks, but his life.
Right.
I think Randle would be good for him, definitely. I think Randle would be. You looking at a guy that have taken the reins of, the beating he took last year, man, to be what he is right now. I stick out to it, man. I think probably, and I'll say it in all the sports, man. When it comes to the NBA period, man, I think he got to be the most mentally toughest dude, man.
Yeah, because but even him, he gets steered away. That last year, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I forget his son's name. But when he used to be ready to fly off the wall during a game, an assistant coach would just scream his son's name, and it would bring him back to earth. Everybody needs something like that in their life to keep them grounded.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
And Zach, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that because here we are in a judgment-free zone, and I try to promote positive vibes, right? Mm-hmm. And not because it get clicks and stuff, but because I want to have this be a safe place for people to come and talk. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we talk Knicks every day, it's not going to be all Knicks all the time. You know what I'm saying? We like talking Knicks, but even in this case with Kevin Porter Jr., man, you know what I'm saying? If we get him, if they cut him, and it's Cleveland, so who knows? It's
crazy to cut him.
Cleveland, aside from LeBron James, the LeBron James championship, Cleveland has been a grease fire their entire existence.
You look how they did LeBron the first time. What they ain't going to say about him.
Yeah, and so they've been a grease fire, man.
It's not even.
I think Rocket froze.
Rocket, you froze, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Rocket froze. Yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah, Cleveland's a grease fire, man. They always do crazy stuff, It's the same thing with the Chicago Bulls, man. Aside from the Michael Jordan era, the Chicago Bulls are trash. They had like one little glimpse with D Rose for a little bit, but the Chicago Bulls historically they're garbage. So I mean,
so Freezy, man, I ain't get a chance to talk to you, man, but that rumble in the jungle, the beat down, you heard, man, what we did to the Free Keith too, man, or Rocket, man, that what we did to Boston.
Right.
Well, I mean, Boston came to
my.
that game sleeping. Number one, I don't know what was.
Yeah.
You have to see something was wrong with that squad, like.
Right.
But I mean,
They themselves. They won 5 straight.
I'm still not absolving them from like, yo, like,
They had won 5 straight now. Coming in,
laid down.
that game against us.
Yo, like from the tip off though, they just didn't look right. But whatever.
Hey, Free Keith, you ever had your butt whooped by your little brother?
Oh yeah, actually, you know what's so funny? Yeah, football. Yeah.
That's what that was. They're like you beat your brother 900 times in a row.
900 times, and that's 30 times.
And then one time you take a light on him, he cut your butt.
Yeah.
Yo,
But you know what? They should have known better because our track record against
they thought they were gonna have a night off. Like they didn't come ready to play a for real game. Like, and we came ready. We came expecting a for real game.
And they should have known better because we were on a 5-game losing streak. You don't take a team like that lightly coming in. You know they're gonna play hard.
But that's the die roll you making. Like,
right.
Like, okay, we just played hard for the last 5 games. We just won these last 5. We're about to see this Knicks team that's traditionally been trash. They just lost their 5. Like maybe this will be 6. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
You going into it low energy.
Yeah.
But they got smashed by 30.
Yeah, I mean 30 in this era of basketball, they got held well under 100. It was 75 points or something like that.
And
right.
This is why
that was a low for them.
I'm not so mad about us low scoring because like
that was a franchise low for them.
They're definitely a franchise low. Like, but I'm not mad at our low scoring if we're gonna keep the defense the way it was from the beginning of the season, because like that's the difference maker. Like, yes, we're not scoring. We might be at the bottom, like the lower third of the league in scoring. But like if our defense is number 1, that means I'm keeping you from scoring enough that my low scoring is enough to to win the game.
Hey, like they say, Free Keith, when the New York Knicks and Tom Thibodeau come in the building, man, your point totals go down.
Your point, like everybody, every team, like
every team. It ain't no fluke. It ain't no fluke.
Not a fluke.
You know, it ain't no fluke. It's a trend. We got it. It's a trend. It's a trend.
Winning games because like we lucky that we meeting guys on their bad shooting nights. No, they shooting bad because of us.
It's a trend. A fluke is something that happens once in a while. That's a fluke. When it's something that's continuous, that's a behavior. That's a pattern. That's a trend, and that's what it's apparent. You know, it's a trend. We hold teams down, man, under the average.
We're applying that pressure, and Cats is not realizing it yet, and that's good though. I like that because I want this to go on for like at least another 5-6 games before Cats really realize like you got to be serious when you come on the floor with us.
Right.
I tell you what's going to be crazy though. When our offense catch up,
they don't want that.
Top 5 team in the East. Yeah, I said it.
I'm looking at Quigley getting loose. Getting loose.
Yeah, quickly
getting comfy.
That float game is nasty.
He's getting comfy. This is what I was waiting for. This is what I was waiting. I don't want comfortable Quigley.
And think about it, we had an Obi sighting too.
Yeah.
And he ain't but a few games removed from coming back off of that injury.
And y'all know RJ Barrett is averaging 20 and 9 the last 4 games.
Yo, my guy Burke comes back. Yo.
Kevin Knox is gravy.
We got a team for real though. Like not just a fledgling team, like for real good team.
You know what's crazy? Y'all real quick. Let me reset something. So the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll is this: are the Knicks a serious playoff contender? Yes or no? Right. So right now we have 8 votes, and it's an absolute tie.
A tie?
tie.
I'll take that.
It's 50-50 so far. So the poll has only been up for about an hour. So I'm asking everybody to contribute to the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll, so that we can get a true sense of what you guys think right now. The Knicks Morning Drive Twitter question of the day is: are the Knicks a serious playoff contender?
I'm gonna tell you what. For me, Freezy, right now we're in the 6th spot. We've had these injuries. We would not be in the 6th spot. We didn't have these injuries. We wouldn't have went on a 5-game skid. So I'm gonna tell you right now, we would be right now in the top 5 in the league.
Yo,
in our conference. In our conference, we would be a top 5 team, and because of that defense that we just talked about, we're a team nobody wants to play. So I'm going with we would be a serious problem. Nobody would want to play us in the first round. I tell you that.
I don't know if we're a playoff
gotta
team.
stay healthy. Yeah.
I don't know if we're a playoff team, but I know we beating playoff teams. So
that's the thing. So I got to go with it. I got to go with it. Yeah, we would be a problem in the East. We would be a problem. We won't be no team that you're gonna sweep. I can tell you that. It won't be no sweep with us.
We got a team.
So let me get back to let me get back to what y'all was saying about Kevin Porter Jr. If it comes down to it, are you guys willing to trade players for Kevin Porter Jr.?
I don't understand.
I ain't trading nothing.
I don't know. Because
this is strictly a pickup situation.
It's just not the thing with the thing in the locker room with the thing. He's still with the gun related, the gun charges.
Yeah, that's scary too, man. That made me get them Washington vibes, man.
He put those gun charges in November.
I thought, oh no, Beasley's on some assault stuff. Never mind.
Yeah, that's scary, man. You got to think about that, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So if we're still in talent acquisition mode, or do you know, are you mainly saying the only way you look at considering getting him is if he's cut and you pick him up off waivers?
That's how I'm looking at it. Unless they'll take
you're muted, Zach.
Unless they'll take like a DSJ for him.
Yeah,
man. Why y'all trying to
second round pick, a late second?
Yeah, I'm not giving up no for real assets for him.
No first rounders. No, I give him a late second round pick. I think we got one of them in the kitty bank.
What? Y'all wouldn't. So the thing is with DSJ, man, is DSJ is flawed. I think he is a multi-year fix. So I think it's going to take a couple of years for us to fix him, for him to be a real contributor.
He got to get healthy first. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
stay healthy. I don't know what he eat and conditioning, man, but when you keep getting hurt, man, that's a red flag for me. The same thing. As much as I like Frank defense, man, if you can't be available, man, you know used to the team, man. You may as well be dressed up in a suit and have a clipboard.
Frankie eating too much crepes.
And I'm gonna tell you,
hey, so first of all, it's pronounced crepes.
It's pronounced eat a burger, my G. Some red meat.
Yeah, he needs American
fries, yo. Like, you can't even have French fries. American fries.
And think about it, wasn't he hurt when we drafted him? Didn't he have something going on?
Yes, he had a knee when we drafted him. Yeah, he had a knee thing going on.
So I mean, he just.
I'm looking cross-eyed of the Church of Frank right now. Like, where y'all at? Where's the Church of Frank now? Like, the same exact thing been happening to Frank for 4 years now. Like, where is
you can't count on him, man.
Frank now?
So the Frankers are mighty quiet.
Zach.
The Frankers are mighty quiet.
Zach, you're still muted. We can't hate.
And you know what? And the funny thing, while Zach gets ready, the funny thing is that we have there was even a Quickers group that jumped up that wanted to see Quickly and Rivers together. That seems to have dissipated. Yeah, that seems to have dissipated. But the Frankers were loud and proud for like 3 years, and all of a sudden, nothing.
Yeah, at some point, like I say, man, you got to cut your losses, man. Allow the kid to go someplace else, man. Maybe it worked for him someplace else, but it's obvious it ain't working here. And somebody brought this up one night. I think it was on your show, Freezy. Said, and it might have been Zach. Said, I can't remember who said it, but anyway, they said that the thing was that brought Frank so much value to this team was back then the team didn't play defense. Right. He was the one bright spot that played defense. So now you got a coach that's his mantra, and the whole team is playing defense. So what is Frank value? He's not standing out like that no more. He ain't that shining star like he was. You know what I mean? But my thing is with Frank, man, hey, I think he need a change of scenery. Him and DSJ both. I think they really need it, man.
Yeah.
I would love for Frank to stay. I would love for Frank to stay, man. And the reason why is not because he's a draft pick, right? You know, for Frankers want Frank to stay because Frank was a draft pick. Basically, that's what it boiled down to, in my opinion. Frankers Frank, they just Frank. We would be number one in offense if Frank got to start at point guard. We would make the playoffs if only Frank got more minutes. In 3 years, Frank is gonna be such and such and such and such. You just wait and see. That's what we hear from Frankers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now, without Frank, we're in playoff contention. Without Frank. But so Franker's thing over the years was, if you wait for 7 more years, Frank is gonna be such and such. Frank is gonna be God, Sham God. All this stuff. You wait 13 more years. Frank is gonna be Reggie Miller. All this stuff Frank used to say, like on Twitter or whatever. And now without Frank, hey Rocky, you got some playback with you?
No, that's not me.
No, that's not me.
Okay. I'm just asking, just trying to figure it out, just quality, whatever. And so while I like Frank, what I want to do is just have Frank be in a role, because I keep saying this, and people take what I say lightly because it's a push off. Tony Allen didn't become Tony Allen until he was 25, right? And Bruce Bowen didn't become who he was until he was 25, right? So I want to keep Frank around and have him develop over, you know what I'm saying, at his own pace. And then by, say, 23, 24, 25, maybe we see glimpses of what he can be long term, right? And with that said, I'm not saying that Frank has to play every game. I'm saying sign Frank back to 3 years, $9 million, right? And then Frank will be your 10th, 11th, 12th man, right? And let him develop, because he was super raw when we drafted him. If Frank
got to stay on the court.
Yeah,
he got to stay on the court. He's consistently injured. That's
he ain't gonna be able to develop if he can't get on the court.
He can't stay on the court,
and that's the problem.
He's consistently injured. He's not getting injured in the game.
I like the kid. I like the kid because he's a professional, man. And I like that about him. He don't cause no problems in the locker room. He's a great guy. But when it comes to being on the floor, you can't develop if you ain't available.
To the actual thing that you're paying him for, he can't show up.
Exactly.
He's not getting injured on the court.
That makes 0 sense, yo.
It's not in the games he's getting injured. He's getting injured in practice.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You ain't even you injured before you even see the floor, homie. Come on, man. Like
this has been going on for 4 years now.
He's been here for as long as he's been in the league. Like, so now it's not even it's a habit. So now it's not even a fluke. He's an injury prone player.
Right.
Yeah.
On top of like a developmental project. Like, he got to fade to the background, man. We shouldn't even be talking about that kid.
Hey, and so here's my other thing about Frank. And I know this seems like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth at the same time. But have you ever noticed anytime the Knicks get a glimpse of a hope at Frank's position, Frank gets hurt? You remember when Trey Burke showed up? All of a sudden, Frank is hurt.
Trey, you gotta be cracking up.
You can't trade nobody. You can't trade nobody while they hurt. You can't waive nobody while they hurt and stuff. So I think he's playing the game right now.
But that's what people make right now. Spraying knees. I'm spraying knees. I don't look for him to play again this season, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't look for him to play again this season. He doesn't have a contract guaranteed for next year.
Right.
I wouldn't risk that. I wouldn't risk that. If I'm looking to try to sign a contract next season, because I'm telling you right now, if he plays and he tears that ACL completely,
but see, he's in between a rock and a hard place because like if he don't play, who is he exhibiting his talent to be able to get another contract?
But you know what? Somebody will feel like they can fix him and take a fly on him. I.e. San Antonio with Tony Parker up there in the front office, his advocate from his hometown, and Golden State. Those are two teams I can see taking a fly on him.
He's
and
not
get him with the pennies on the dollar. But for us, there's nothing to his benefit to do that. And he see the writing on the wall. The guy want to be a point guard. He knew it ain't gonna happen here.
Nah, he ain't.
So why even risk? Why even risk that knee blowing out on you completely? Now you can't sign a contract next year. Ain't nobody want you because you're damaged.
Right. He's gonna be right where Moody is at.
Yeah. He might either that or somebody will take a shot on him and give him a dirt cheap contract.
He's not good enough to not play and
not with no offensive production.
And think that he'll just get a contract off strength. Like
quickly showing he could play both sides of the ball. Like
quickly putting people on notice he's coming for that spot.
Quickly coming from for pole position.
Yeah, right. He's the man. He's the man.
Right. And so my thing is I want to throw this out here real quick for those that want to smoke with Free Keith. Right. With quickly being in that point guard conversation, the point guard of the future conversation, where does that leave Elfrid Payton? I can start a little bit because I hadn't heard Free Keith go off in a little bit, so he's been very polite. But so
I don't think he leaves him anyway. I mean, Elfrid Payton is like it's a drop off. It's no drop off. Like it's a 1-2 punch. Like where he picks up where quickly can't pick up as far as veteran. He has the veteran savvy. He knows the ins and outs so far. Like Elfrid Payton plays hard. He's just not, consistent. So he does have us in some games. So I'm not just going to say Elfrid Payton is going to be relegated to obscurity.
I would say Elfrid Payton should be relegated to obscurity.
I think so.
No, you just doing that. You're just trying to get out me. I'm not even going to fall.
No. Listen, hey, so we'll leave Free Keith out of this. I'm gonna tell you what. We'll leave Free Keith out of this because the thing is we know how he feels.
Real unfair to the God Elf, yo. Y'all be real unfair.
We can't do that.
He missed 2 layups at point blank range.
So did RJ.
But this ain't about RJ. This is about Elf.
We can't relegate him to obscurity. We don't have no point guards. We don't have no point guards on the roster.
Depth is trash. Who you gonna do? You gonna go to Frank?
We need Elfrid Payton to play them.
Man, this thing is Elfrid Payton. Just the conversation just gives me a headache. Like right here, in this spot right here.
We need him to play those minutes he's playing.
Zach trying to get back in the building.
We just need him to.
He not back. Oh, okay. Let me.
It's not trash. What are you talking about, George? Like whose man's is this George cat? George, you crazy? Payton is not trash. Y'all fans use trash so easily.
He's serviceable. He's serviceable.
We need him for right now.
He's not trash
right now.
He ain't no starting point guard.
Quickly will probably work his way into the starting point guard position. That is fine. And you could see that trajectory already. But Elf,
y'all hear me now?
Coming off the bench.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Elf coming off the bench, even behind that, like y'all bugging out. Like,
I mean, that's what I take him as. I take him as a bench. I don't want to start.
Like Elf is total trash. Like,
no, I'm not calling him trash.
Breezy.
I'm not saying that.
We just clown Frank a little bit, right? Okay. If Frank got 17 shots, you think he'd go 4 for 17 at least?
Yeah.
Thank you. Elfrid Payton's trash.
I ain't gonna call the man trash. I'm gonna tell you what I like him as a backup, but not my starter.
You think
not my starter?
You think Frank is taking 14 shots again?
I said if he can, if
Oh,
he can get him
emergency
17
point guard.
shots, he'd be better
That's
than
the
4 for
point.
17.
You can't if what you don't do. Like
Frank.
Like Frank is not taking 14 shots.
But if he did, he'd do better than 4 for 17.
If you living in an if world again, dude, he's not taking 14 shots.
I'd rather live with Elfrid Payton getting into that
major
paint.
problem with Frank is that he's not aggressive.
I'd rather live with
that's the main
You can't want like if this guy did the same thing, then like he's not doing that.
I'm gonna tell you what I see in Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton is my backup / emergency point guard. I don't want him starting. I don't like him starting because of the fact every time he starts, except for yesterday, the team is always in a hole. We're always in a hole.
He's a journeyman backup on lottery teams. That's what he is.
Untrue. That is untrue.
What team has he been on that's a playoff team?
No. I'm not talking about that. Like he said that
we play from behind with Elfrid Payton. Oh yeah,
that is untrue.
I guarantee you the percentage is higher. I'm gonna dig in the credits for you, but I'm gonna get the receipts. I'm gonna get the receipts for it.
That one.
But we start off slow and he's on the floor.
I didn't know we had Paytoners. What do you want to call
the
Payton fan base?
No. He could come
what
off
you want to call the
bench.
Payton fan base?
He could come off the bench. He could
I'd rather him on the bench. I don't like him in the starting unit.
I'm a fan of fairness. This is where I am with it.
Hey,
like,
Keith, I ain't gonna call him trash. The man is not trash.
They were calling Randle trash last year. Like, this is what I'm saying. Yo, Knicks fans.
They were calling Randle trash this year.
Knicks fans is cool.
I ain't gonna call Randle no trash.
I don't like this guy. It's synonymous with he's trash. Like,
right.
That's what my little 13-year-old brother does, man.
I just want to see more.
My little 14-year-old brother. That's what he'll say. Oh, your team trash.
I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm not saying he's terrible because we don't have no point guards. But I don't just want to see him relegated to the bench. I want to see him be more consistent.
I want to see him on Ron's Jet.
I like he could get. I like the fact that he get into the lane. I like the fact that he get into the paint.
I'll fly him myself.
I would love to see Elf in Brooklyn.
That are serviceable.
Elf in Brooklyn.
I mean,
he's a good backup, man. He's a good backup point guard. That's what he is.
Need to be on the shelf.
Hey, Ron, but Ron, but Keith, listen. So my man started 346 games, right? Mm-hmm. All for teams in the lottery.
Yeah, he's a good backup on a lottery team that wants a pick. He's never been a good backup on a good team or a good player.
No, he's never been on a good team, much like Randle. And are you going to say Randle is trash?
No, absolutely not.
Well, stop it. What are y'all confused?
Elfrid hasn't improved since he entered the league. He has not gotten better. Nobody entered the league.
Nobody said
Randle has. Stop it.
Nobody said Elf is Jordan.
Elfrid doesn't improve.
No, we're not saying that Elf is Jordan.
He doesn't get better.
But Elf is not averaging 22, 12, and 7.
Elf needs
his career average is 11.1 points, 4.4 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 45% field goal, 29% 3-point shooter, 62.7% free throw shooter.
Those are
career highs, 25 points.
But this year, to his credit, this year,
like they're going like, oh, Payton stinks. Like, are you serious? Like, for real, that bad? Like, Payton is that bad? He stinks.
I'm gonna tell you my problem with him in the starting line. I'm gonna tell you why, and this is what I value. This is why I value my point guards, man. You have to be able to see the floor, man. This dude have tunnel vision too much, man. I watch him a lot miss people on backdoor cuts. I'm watching him miss Mitch on the left, even down there in the game just the other day. RJ down in the paint on the inbound, looking right at him and asking for the ball. He almost got a 5-second. I'm like, give it to him. RJ had his man boxed out, easy 2 points. It's stuff like that aggravates me with him. And he don't push the pace. He drags. No. He's slow. I'm like, that's my problem with him. I don't want to see him starting, man. I don't. No.
He's frustrating in that sense that the guy is fast, but moves slow. Because we know he's fast. Because he's fast enough to go by most guards in the NBA.
Yeah, he'll blow by people when he's ready.
Right, but at the same time, he doesn't push the pace.
Yeah, and he got that flash tattoo on his arm, and he's the slowest pace point guard in the league.
Right. So it's like it's the most frustrating thing ever. Like you're really fast.
He's not trash. I tell you this, he's not trash because I can go find some trash point guards in this league. He's just a good backup, man.
Like Peyton coming off the bench with a second unit wouldn't be one of the better second unit PGs in the game. Y'all bugging out like that's Dude, I would give his spot like basketball heads. Like, and it seems like sometimes cats just think like real emotionally, and they don't really look at basketball. Like,
I would give his spot right now to Ron Cleveland. Ron, you been on treadmill today?
I would give Stephen Fox
get on after the show.
Get on the treadmill, and I'm going to give you Alfred Payton's roster spot.
About to get on that elliptical after the show, man. I do 13 miles on it, man, an hour every day.
Stevie Moon more minutes than Alfred Payton. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you now. Alfred Payton give us what we need. Now I ain't gonna call the man trash because at the end of the day, man, I ain't tired of no one player, man.
He plays good, we win. I don't understand.
Yeah, of course, when your players play good,
we win. I give you that. When he plays good, we win, but it's not consistent. That's the problem.
When Fred plays good, or when DSJ plays good, we win. When bad players play good, you win.
But the consistency, that's the problem.
Good, most of the time,
I'm gonna tell you this, Freaky.
Bro, like, what are you talking about?
If the cat average, I'm gonna tell you.
Did you expect the numbers that we have right now? Did you expect our win losses right now before the season?
You say Alfred Payton?
Did you expect where we are right now to be where we are right now before the season?
And shout out to Sunim. He's been solid, man. In the chat.
He's been one of the ones that's solid helping us do it. What are you talking about?
He's been solid. I give him that. You know what I mean? But in that starting lineup, it's time for a new era.
Got to go.
It makes me look like I'm not a fan of. But Cat's got to be fair. You got to give the devil his due. Like, it's not like Cats put losses all on one person, and then don't want to spread the wins out. That same one person is not responsible for or doesn't help for no wins.
I'm gonna tell you what, his defense down the stretch of that game.
What's Alfred Payton's career plus minus?
Win that game. I'm gonna tell you, I'm objective. I'm gonna tell you that.
I'm talking about this season. Because if we're talking about career, Randle's a career loser. But what is he doing this season?
He's playing better.
Exactly.
And to that point,
like Randle has.
And to that point,
he's still the same guy.
I told you what his career average was, right? His point total is up from 11.1 to 13.1.
Elf is an improved player.
And his three-point shooting is up to 31% this year from 29% historically. His free throw percentage is up to 68.8 from 62.7 for his career. So his number's been trending in the right direction. It's just that he just ain't consistent. If the guy was averaging, I'm telling you right now, if he was consistent, he'd be one of the better point guards in the game.
I'll listen to y'all talk and I'll take the W's. Y'all go ahead and y'all.
I ain't gonna call it man trash.
I'll go ahead and take the W. Let's max him out a while.
I'll go ahead and take the W.
Let's give him a max.
I'll go ahead and talk y'all GM talk. Go ahead.
Take the W.
Hey, so I got
works out for you.
So I
got works out for you.
So I got
for me.
Hey, y'all, so I got
we'll see.
The man ain't trash. I ain't gonna call him trash, but he's definitely a good backup, and even veteran analysts, you know what I mean? They say the same thing about him. He's a very good backup.
How come no team wants
and watch when quickly takes over the pole position and Elf falls to the second spot, and he's running with the second unit. No, it's gonna be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be the same thing, and it's going to be good basketball from him. Like, y'all act like the dude is trash.
No, I ain't saying he's trash. I ain't saying that, man. Don't put me with that, Keith. I ain't saying the man. I keep saying the man is not trash.
Y'all almost made me cuss. That dude's a 6'3" Taco Fall.
As IQ takes over as
when 6'3" Darko Milicic
starting point guard. Y'all saying that Elf like let's put DSJ.
Let's put a slow paced point guard with our second unit that runs and guns. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Let's trade Elf to Cleveland for Kevin Porter Jr.
I just want Elf Payton to come through and yam it down in the lane like he did yesterday every game, man.
Hey, so I gotta
a few times this season. Actually, he's done that quite a few times this season.
Wow, an NBA player dunking
like 3. He did it like 3 times.
So I gotta wrap up, man, because I've been on for a little while, man, and I worked all night, man. I appreciate everybody. I didn't want to get Free Keith started. I actually wanted to dodge this. I wanted to dodge this. I wanted to dodge this, man. I wanted to talk about Alfred Payton, but not with Free Keith. I know, man. All I want is,
but he ain't no starting point guard.
He started 346 games for lottery teams.
I'm just saying he ain't a starting point guard. He's a very good backup. That's what he is.
Lottery team.
He's a backup. He's a backup point guard. He ain't trash though. I ain't gonna call him trash. I can go find some other players that's trash.
Yeah.
I.e. Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, even Frank's trash, and he still wouldn't go 4 for 17.
Yeah,
Frank can't get on. Frank trash because he can't get on the court.
He wouldn't go 4 for 17 because under no circumstances will he take 17 shots in a game.
Frank don't have the stamina to take 17 shots.
Exactly.
See that?
You don't got the legs
Alfred
for
Payton don't have the stamina for that.
What are you talking about?
His line drive shot. They got to change the rims at halftime because he
Frank will pass the ball.
His line drive shot. Stop it.
He will never see it again.
All right. Hey, so if y'all like what y'all hear, subscribe to the channel. Like the live stream, join the virtual chat, join the video chat, turn your notifications on, share on social media. So we have a Cash App also. Ghetto Intellect told me that the virtual chat wanted to do a Cash App. So the Cash App is $ Lawrence Tears for those that want to contribute to the show and help the show get better. Thanks everybody for coming through. I'm sorry about getting Free Keith rallied up in the last 10 minutes about LP.
Sorry about nothing.
But I wanted to. So we'll probably talk about some Alfred Payton and where he belongs and you
talking about players that matter.
I'm gonna wrap up right here. Y'all are very disrespectful.
Y'all disrespectful to that man. Y'all disrespectful, man.
If you listening, y'all, you need to be out there banging on these chumps. Let them know what's good.
Hey, Free Keith, if Alfred Payton have a game where he scored 25, they're gonna still say he trash.
They're gonna still say
he trash. So I'm gonna wrap up here, man. Thanks everybody. I need that Alfred
Payton with that 5 back-to-back triple doubles, man. I need that Alfred
that
hey, Wacko Knicks Fanatic, thanks for the super chat. So Wacko Knicks Fanatic says trade Payton to keep moving for 3 cans of tuna. That's if we could get 3 cans of tuna. They may only give us 2.
Get 3 rotten cans of tuna.
But he had 5 back-to-back triple doubles before. I need that Alfred Payton back. I need that Alfred Payton back.
Hey, all right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. We're gonna holler tomorrow for the Knicks Morning Drive. Same time, same channel. Y'all be peaceful. Peace.
Oh, we ain't doing the Knicks at night?
Yeah, we doing Knicks at night. This is every day, bro. This is a grind.
All right, subscribe to my channel, man. Let's go, guys. Subscribe to my channel too, man. Let's go. Let's just
support my man, Rockstar. You heard me?
For sure. Hey, Free Keith. So we
got some new clips up there too. I got some new clips up there. Knicks clips up there on my channel.
What's the name of your channel, Rocket?
Mr. Rocket.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. and subscribe to that right now. You heard me?
Hey, Free Keith,
what's the name of it?
Gotta get you to do the Knicks versus
Mr. Rocket.
I'm gonna hit you up later.
Mr. Rocket.